One. They try to return to the Western Conference Final tonight. If the Switchbacks go through, they'll host the final here at Widener Field with a chance to go on to the final itself. We welcome you to the USL Championship playoffs presented by Common Spirit. It's a Western Conference semifinal tonight at Widener Field as the number 2 seed Colorado Springs Switchbacks face off against the number 6 seeded Orange County SC. Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse, her entire crew. We look at the Western Conference bracket. The winner tonight goes to the Western Conference final against Las Vegas.
And as we spoke about, Sean, we've already lost some favorites. Tampa Bay Rowdies, New Mexico, and Louisville C all finding their way out of the playoffs. A great opportunity for Orange County or Colorado Switchbacks to advance tonight.
Let's look back at how both of these two teams advanced into this Western Conference semi. The Switchbacks had a 2-0 win over Oakland that was paced by this Enriquez goal.
Enriquez gets them onto the score sheet just before halftime with this strike. takes the 1-0 lead, gives them the upper hand going in at halftime. I'm sure this would have changed the halftime conversations.
And then after halftime happened, playoff Ronaldo Damas stepped up with a penalty conversion.
Damas clinical from the penalty spot, as he has been numerous times this season. Over half of his goals this season have come from the penalty spot.
2-0 enough to send Colorado Springs through. They stay unbeaten in Widener Field home playoff games. Meanwhile, Ronaldo Damas, he's had a huge hand in the history of multiple USL Championship clubs, notable for his truckload of goals he scored for Orange County, including 2 in the 2021 final. Now with Colorado Springs, 13 goals this season for James Chambers, and the fans certainly are excited to see him in another home playoff game tonight.
Yeah, there's going to be one thing. If Damas is going to be effective tonight's game, he's going to have to be extremely clinical with opportunities he gets in the attacking third. Both of these defenses are very, very stingy in opportunities they give up and the goals conceded. And I think that's one area he could improve on this season, is being clinical with opportunities he's got. Half of his goals have come from penalties, so he scored 7 goals from open play. In the playoffs, you don't necessarily get 5 or 6 chances. You get 1 or 2 good chances that you have to be able to take.
He's our Kegwan Modelo player to watch. And for Orange County, they had to survive extra time in Memphis to get through, but they did get through, thanks to Dylan Powers.
Coming up with a massive header. Powers here, he's been integral in this defense. This defense has kept 7 clean sheets in their past 9 games, and as with all good centre-backs, they're good at attacking headers both in the box defensively and offensively, and Powers came up massive in this moment to carry his team through to the next round.
We talked to Danny Stone about what changed defensively. He's relied on the senior players to help. Dylan Powers is a big reason why.
Yeah, I think he's spoken about structure, organisation. He's been able to re-galvanise this group, bring energy and a belief in themselves, and I think that belief has obviously carried them through. It's the same group of players, they're just playing completely differently.
The winner tonight gets a berth into the Western Conference Final and a date with Las Vegas Lights next week to play for a spot in the final. It frankly doesn't get much bigger than that in a USL Championship season. The kickoff from Widener Field is coming up next.
Injured in a crash? Get McDivitt and you get a firm dedicated to every single detail of your case.
We have the knowledge and resources to investigate the crash and your insurance company's small print.
Details matter. That's why we dive deep into every aspect of your case. This gives us the firepower we need to make the insurance company pay you the money you deserve.
We never ask you to pay a penny until we get you max money for your injuries.
Online at McDivittLaw.com.
McDivitt.
Natural gas ensures that when you need to heat things up, you can, but it can also be hazardous. That's why, in the event of a natural gas leak, you need to know the 3 S's. The first one, sound. Listen for the sound of hissing or whistling. Number 2, sight. Look for dead or discolored vegetation in an otherwise green area. And number 3, smell. It's hard to miss. Be on the lookout for a pungent odor like rotten eggs. If you notice any of these signs, leave the area immediately and call 911. For more information, go to csu.org.
The moment you call McDivitt, an action plan is put into place right away to get you the help you need.
Each case and each client is different, with different needs and solutions. Your attorney and team immediately investigates every aspect of your crash and injuries.
We track down all the paperwork and deal directly with the insurance company for you.
We keep you in the loop every step of the way, fighting to get you max money for your injuries.
And you never pay us a dime until we get money for you.
McDivitt.
Colorado Springs Utilities serves electric, gas, water, and wastewater. If you combine all 4 services, you're paying around 11% less than anybody else on the Front Range. Water is the only one of our 4 services where you pay more. Since we have no river systems of our own, more than 70% of our water comes from Colorado's West Slope. Colorado Springs Utilities has delivered all 4 of these services safely, reliably, and at the best value to you for the last 100 years, and we will continue to do that long into the future.
Today's player walkouts are sponsored by Children's Hospital Colorado. Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse, welcoming you back to Widener Field. There's only one place left in the conference finals. It's going to go to one of these 2 teams as the Switchbacks take on Orange County. Phil Long provides you with the starting lineups tonight for James Chambers. It's an unchanged side for the Switchbacks.
Yeah, and I think you can expect to see a lot of flexibility in the structure of these formations. For Colorado Switchbacks, it can look like a 4-2-3-1, it could look like a 4-4-2. It depends whether they're attacking or defending, but expect to see a lot of fluidity in how the players move and interchanging between positions. But we can expect them to be defensive, solid as they continue to be. conceding 0 goals in their past 4 games and winning all 3. So defensively, extremely solid. It's going to be interesting to see how Damas and Hanya are able to unlock this Orange County defense.
Particularly at Widener Field, the Switchbacks have been extremely difficult to beat. But so have Danny Stone's Orange County, 9 games unbeaten coming into tonight.
Yeah, and speaking to Danny Stone, he's told us about how he's been able to re-galvanize the group. He's picked a couple of key players, Jameson, Zubak, and tried to get the best out of those players and really maximize their potential. You've seen the uptick in Zubak, his goal return this season, it has started to tick up. The defense has been absolutely solid in their past 9 games, keeping 7 clean sheets, and that's a foundation that can lead you to success. They're in the playoffs now, they're in good form, anything can really happen at this stage.
This, of course, is a rematch from the 2021 USL Championship playoffs. At the time, Orange County were the hosts in Irvine. Colorado Springs were the number 6th seed. It was a 1-0 final. The goal scorer was Ronaldo Damas for Orange County, his first of many on what turned out to be a trophy season for Orange County. Colorado Springs gets us started here at Widener Field. They're going from right to left, and this final conference semifinal is off and running. Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse, thrilled to have you with us. Another great crowd here at Widener Field. The winner goes to the Western Conference Final to take on the Las Vegas Lights, who just continue their dream season under first-year head coach Dennis Sanchez. If the Switchbacks win, the Western Conference Final will be played here at Widener Field. If not, Orange County will have to go to Cashman to play for a spot in the final.
And it's always very interesting to talk to head coaches about how they approach playoff games. Do you stick to your own style and your own style of play, your tactics, your formation, or do you adjust based upon the opponents? It's a catch-22. If you focus on the opponents too much, you can kind of lose yourselves. At the same time, you need to understand the strengths and the weaknesses of the opponents, and maybe not just be stubborn in your approach and be a little bit more agile and flexible from game to game. But there's definitely changes and tweaks that each coach has to make to each game, and I think for Orange County in today's game.
Here's Bryce Jameson, who scored at Widener Field the last time Orange County were here, and then it's a volley, a bit of a wild one from Owen Lamb. It's out for a goal kick.
Orange County in today's game, we spoke to Danny Stone and spoke to him about the threat that Damas possesses. If they play a high line and need the space behind the back line to be exposed, you know, how are they going to adjust to that? Are they going to drop a deeper line? He was very competent and said they're going to stick to what they've been doing. They've been performing well in their past 9 games. They're not going to change things too much, but they are definitely going to be aware of the threat that is posed by Damas' ability to run in behind. As we mentioned pre-game, Damas needs to be a little bit more clinical with the opportunities he gets. In the playoffs against a very good defense, you're not going to get 6-7 chances. He has to be clinical to get that one that he hasn't finished, which he's lacked a little bit at times this season. Top strikers come up in big games, in big moments, and obviously he's been in this situation before. He's been one of the league's top strikers for a number of years now, looking for a big performance tonight.
Yeah, we talked with both James Chambers and Danny Stone in the build-up, and it does feel like there's going to be something that has to give in Orange County's defense, trying to stop this potent attack that the Switchbacks have, especially when they play here. They're very difficult to keep off the score sheet. But Orange County has kept some pretty impressive results defensively as of late, and Danny Stone's done a wonderful job turning this around. We talked with Danny Stone about his seesaw season. Obviously began the year as the Phoenix Rising head coach after helping to lead Phoenix under the tutelage of head coach Juan Guerra last season to the title. Danny Stone was an assistant coach on that team. Didn't last extremely long at Phoenix this season, but then got a job as an assistant with Orange County. Obviously got promoted after Paul Hardiman was let go. And my goodness, look at the results that we've seen over the last 9 games and counting, including really impressive, grind it out kind of result, beating Memphis on the road in extra time. As an early ball in here, looking for Yosuke Hanya, is gobbled up by Colin Shuttler.
Yeah, and I think it's also important to highlight for Orange County. There's been no signings or changes in the players. It's exactly the same players that lost a large number of games this season, and you could even argue that they're still missing a number of the best players. Kyle Scott is not available tonight. Iloski's not available, Partida's not available, and there's some of the...
Oh, a dangerous pass back here, and Herrera's missed it! And Ethan Zubak scores! Colorado Springs make a mess of it at the back! And Ethan Zubak takes the chance for Orange County. It's his 11th goal of the season, and it could be worth its weight in gold.
I know we are approaching the holiday season, Sean, Thanksgiving and Christmas on the way, but this is a gift way too early. First 5 minutes of the game, you don't take risks and chances like this. You've got to clear the danger, and poor communication there is given an absolute gift to Zubak, and Orange County have taken the lead. 1-0, thank you very much.
Now, it took them 116 minutes to score in Memphis. They score here at Widener Field before 4 minutes have been played. It's a dream start for Danny Stone's men.
And you have to give Zubak credit because he chases the ball down, he puts him under pressure, anticipating something could happen. That's literally a straightforward header that should go from centre-back to goalkeeper, but because he chases it, because he puts it under pressure, he kind of creates his own luck. And as much as a gift as it is, if you don't put the pressure, if you don't chase it down, you're not in the right position to finish it. So you have to give Zubak credit for being tenacious and putting in the work to be in the right position for that opportunity. But a bad mistake there as put Colorado Springs backs against the wall in opening 5 minutes.
One of the reasons why that goal is so important is because Colorado Springs, not just this season, but in general, when they play at Widener Field and score the first goal, they're almost invincible. They look for an immediate response here. Zach Zandy just about had it touched away from him by Dylan Powers, cleared away by Marcus Nakim and company. Oh, the resolve of James Chambers' side is going to be tested tonight. Good switch of play by Tyreek McGee. This is Yosuke Hanya. Hanya lays it off. It's a fizzer from Real. It's going to go out for a Colorado Springs corner on this near side. It's going to be a Pikes Peak National Bank corner. Bank well, be well, cheer loud. And a chance for the Switchbacks to find an immediate response. Looks like it's going to be Aiden Rocha to take for Colorado Springs. Goes towards the back stick, nearly found Damas. It's a good thumping header away by the goal scorer, Zubak. And Colorado Springs will reset.
Zubak doing his work in both boxes there. Clinical in finishing the attacking box and very important defensively, winning the header there in his defensive box. He's one of the players that's definitely had an improvement since Danny Stone has taken over. But back to your point that you were making, Sean. Colorado Springs, when they've scored the first goal at home, have lost just once this whole year. So conceding that first goal was a huge dent. We had that as one of the keys to the game for Colorado Springs, that if they're able to score the first goal based upon their trends and previous games, there's a high percentage that they were going to be the winners, but that's not the case. And I think league form has been shown by the number of teams that have gone out so far is not necessarily an indicator of what may or may not happen in the playoffs. I think it's every game is unique and you have to just take it game by game, because Louisville City already out, Tampa Bay Rowdies out, New Mexico out, and these were some of the top teams, if not the top teams, in the regular season.
Not to play devil's advocate here, but I will mention that the last time Orange County were here was earlier this season in June. They led, they also lost by 4-2 in that game. So not necessarily an omen, that goal, but a great start for the visitors, as now Tyreek McGee has time and space. He's gonna let it fly, and Shuttler is able to knock it down and make the stop.
Great play here from McGee, just picks up the ball and drives through midfield. One of the things that James Chambers highlights as being one of his strengths, and if you allow him the time and space in the edge of the box to get shots off, it's only a matter of time before he's going to find the back of the net. Under absolutely no pressure. No centre midfielders there from Orange County putting him under any pressure. Just doesn't strike it with any accuracy, straight down the middle of the goal, but if he's able to find the corners of that, Tyreek McGee is very dangerous from those areas.
Scored a rocket here against the Rowdies months back in a 4-2 win. Tyreek McGee is certainly not one to sit off of when he gets towards the edge of the penalty area.
I'm going to be a hypocrite here, Sean, and say that Orange County have kept 7 clean sheets in their last 9 games. So the chances of conceding 4 tonight is very limited based upon the last time these two teams played. And obviously, we spoke about Colorado Springs kept 3 clean sheets in the past 3 games. So these teams are very, very good defensively, very compact, very tight, very organized, and don't give up a great deal of chances. You can look at the organization right now of Orange County and see how many players are behind the ball and how compact they are. There's not much space to play in between them. So it's not a game where we're expecting the floodgates to open and to be a ton of goals, but we do expect to see a lot of quality possession play.
Enriquez out to the far side. First time ball is headed away by Nakim. Picked up by Speedy Williams. Rocha. Williams will lay it off for Enriquez. Here is Speedy Williams, hasn't scored this season, but he finds a teammate and it's an equalizer! Zipped in by Zach Zandy. What a moment for him! So many ups and downs with injuries over the last couple of seasons, but he's back with a playoff goal for the Switchbacks.
What a start to this game. We've been highlighting how good these teams are defensively, and in the opening 10 minutes, we've seen 2 goals. On this one, I think Orange County, despite how many players they've got back behind the ball, they don't do a good job of condensing space and putting pressure on the ball. Look at the space Williams has when he picks up this ball. Time to take a touch, pick his pass, and then Zandy is also in space and able to pick his corner. Despite having players behind the ball, they're not getting pressure on the ball and getting pressure onto players. Far too much time and space to create opportunities, and Colorado Switchbacks have punished them on this opportunity. We spoke about the one earlier with McGee driving forward into space and getting his shot off under no pressure. On this occasion, the second time, they're made to pay for it.
Well, Zach Zandy pretty much missed all of the 2023 season. One of the big Switchback storylines has been the fact that he's been back in the fold for most of 2024. And you talk about hard work paying off at the end of a season. And in, well, a very early hour of need for Colorado Springs, one of their leaders comes to the fore and equalizes. 1-1 is the score.
Yeah, I think Danny Stone will be pretty disappointed in the amount of time Williams had there to pick up the ball in dangerous pockets and turn and face forward. And obviously Zandy is inside the box in the area, and there's nobody putting a challenge on him and stopping him taking the shot, just allowing players too much time and space. While they do have a lot of bodies back behind the ball, they're not getting pressure onto the players in possession, which is punishing them inevitably.
11 minutes gone here at Widener Field, 1 goal apiece. What a wacky start we've had to this Western Conference semifinal.
You can see here that Orange County are just a little bit standoffish in how they're going to press the ball. Despite having bodies behind the ball, they're not going to pressure and put the players in possession under intensity to make quick decisions or affect the decision making.
Switchbacks on the attack again. Damas told to get back up, actually won a penalty in a very similar circumstance in the last round against Oakland. Referee Lorenzo Hernandez tells Damas to get back to his feet.
Just having bodies behind the ball is not going to be enough for Orange County to stop this Colorado Switchbacks attack. They've got to go and put pressure on the ball.
It's going to go out for an Orange County throw on the far side. Zubak's goal in the 4th minute off a gift, really. Poor miscommunication defensively for Colorado Springs, canceled out by Zach Zandy's 5th goal of the season. Playoffs and regular season included there.
And that's where you have to give Colorado Springs credit. Going down so early from a mistake, it's a test of character now, because maybe your back's against the wall, your confidence drops a little bit, but the response was absolutely everything that James Chambers would have asked after them. They kept their heads up, they stayed positive, they were moving the ball, finding dangerous areas, and then they showed the quality in the attacking third to capitalize.
That's a foul that's going to go against Damas in Colorado Springs. It's a free kick for Orange County.
Always one thing to take into consideration in games in Colorado is that the game is at a little bit of a higher altitude, which does have an impact on the players in their preparation, as there's less oxygen, and obviously that's an advantage for Colorado Springs being the home team. That could have an impact on Orange County over the course of the game.
The other thing we should mention, of course, is that this game was scheduled to be played yesterday. There was a snowstorm that came through Colorado Springs. We were told 4 to 10 inches. Depending on the camera, we might be able to see some of the snow just off to the side on the near side that was cleared off in the last 24 hours. At kickoff, it was 48 degrees Fahrenheit in Colorado Springs tonight. We're told it's going to be a low of 31 but that's likely going to happen after the game is over, unless we get into extracurriculars, but that's for them.
Well, there's a lot of heat on the pitch right now, so I'm sure the entertainer right now is keeping the fans warm. But you now understand why so many teams fight so hard to get that home opportunity to host a playoff game, because it gives them a massive advantage in this situation.
Yeah, Colorado Springs has never lost a home playoff game at Widener Field. Last time they lost a home playoff game of any kind was 8 years ago, 2016. Again, they didn't play at Widener Field then. They were knocked out by the Vancouver Whitecaps 2 side at the time.
On top of that home advantage in terms of the circumstances, you can see the fans out in full force tonight, being that 12th man, so to speak. I don't envision there's too many Orange County fans in the stands tonight, but there's definitely a lot of Colorado Springs fans, and they're bringing the energy and the enthusiasm to drive their team on to victory. So there's a lot to fight against when you're the away team, but if you are able to get that victory, it always feels that little bit sweeter, because you know you've had to overcome a little bit more adversity.
It's a free kick for Colorado Springs. If there are some Orange County fans here tonight, they'll have to have left 72-degree weather in Irvine today. That's quite the dip. Enriquez is tripped up, and it's a free kick for the Switchbacks. It was Dogman who got involved there. Jairo Enriquez, who hasn't been as much a part of the fold this season for multiple reasons, really. Colorado Springs had that huge goal last time out. He just continues to score big goals, not just for his club, but for country as well, for El Salvador, where he's played in some big CONCACAF fixtures of late. He's been doing it on both fronts over these last few months to help the cause of his respective sides. Controlled here by Yosuke Hanya. McGee looks for the angle. Still Tyreek McGee has it poked away. It's controlled by Duke Lacroix.
Look at the amount of time Williams has there, facing forward. Nobody closing down to pick his pass.
Cross into the middle, goes over the head of Damas. It's going to roll just out of play before Hanya could get a touch.
Orange County need to learn fairly quickly what allowed them to get punished for that equalizing goal, and it was exactly that, allowing Williams time and space in the middle of the park to pick passes forward. Somebody's got to do a better job, and it's probably down to Kasipli and Chatter in the center of the park to close him down and put him under pressure. So much time and space in the center of the park when he's picking up that ball to face forward and cause damage.
Well, there's some of the snow that fell last night in Colorado Springs, and then we mentioned the snow was touched off to the side. Great job by the grounds crew here to make sure the field was available, really, for today. Really looks like there wasn't any snow last night. Credit to the Colorado Springs grounds crew for that. Just out of play as Hanya tried to keep it in. Rare miscued pass from Speedy Williams. Very rarely puts a foot wrong in the middle of that James Chambers midfield.
Yeah, James Chambers describes Speedy Williams as probably one of the best midfielders in the league, and he feels like he doesn't get the credit that he necessarily deserves. He puts in a lot of work that goes unnoticed that is so important for the group.
Hasn't scored this season, Speedy Williams, but has 4 assists, and my goodness, defensively, he's as good as any midfielder in the USL Championship. I think that's fair to say. Great switch of play here for Orange County. Maybe a chance to create something here. To cut in field, Lamb arrives. On the near side, it's clipped into the middle and over the top. Chris Hagard trying to find Ethan Zubak. Instead, it goes into the seats.
Good play there from Orange County. Hagard just lacking a little bit of quality in that final pass. Lamb very high up the field. I want to say he's probably one of those attacking fullbacks in the USL Championship. He always finds a way to overlap and get himself into the attacking third, whether it's to deliver crosses or to get strikes off himself. Always adding the numbers and creating the overloads in the attacking third for Orange County.
That ball's clipped ahead looking for Damas. It never got there. And then Hagar was clattered into by Lacroix. At least Danny Stone would tell you that. Danny Stone is livid on the near side. He's convinced that Orange County should have had a foul. Referee allowed play to continue, and Hagar got the worst of that.
It's a strong tackle, but I think it's a fair tackle. He times it well. He reads the pass coming in, and he attacks the ball at the right moment. You get ball and you get man. You know, he makes himself known. He makes his presence known in this effort. Yes, you could say it's a little bit studs up. There's a little bit of sportsmanship in it. But I think his eyes were on the ball. I don't think it was an intent to play Hagar. I always tell my players, when you wear this stuff on your knee, or you wear this stuff that highlights an injury, you're literally showing your point of weakness to your opponent. And albeit there's moments when the referees don't see everything, there's moments they're going to specifically target where you have an injury to try and get the upper hand on you. You're competing at a level where every little inch matters, every little advantage, every psychological difference you can get over your opponent has a big impact. And if you highlight things to your opponents, sometimes they're going to play on them.
Nearly 20 minutes gone here at Widener Field in Colorado Springs. Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse, our entire crew. Happy to have you with us. It's been a wonderfully played game so far in this Western Conference semifinal. An early goal off a miscue capitalized by Ethan Zubak gave Orange County the lead, but a wonderfully taken equalizer from Zach Zandy as the Switchbacks on terms. There were 6 goals the last time these two met here at Widener Field. Mentioned earlier, Chris, I don't know if we'll get that many, but had a wonderful start as far as the pace to the game has been concerned. And after Mahoney's challenge comes in, the referee's going to bring it back for an earlier infraction in the sequence. And Orange County are going to get a free kick out of that.
Yeah, I think the free kick is for this one, because I don't think the challenge there from Powers was bad at all. I actually think it was a good tackle.
Chance here for Orange County to slip in behind. Chance to get the lead back, and Herrera makes the save on the Cameron Dunbar attempt. Talk about making amends.
End-to-end action right now. The game is wide open for both of these teams.
One of the things that Danny Stone talked to us about was, again, leaning on some of the senior players who have been there before to help Orange County dig themselves out of the hole they had built for themselves earlier in the season. But the other thing he told us was about giving confidence to young players like Bryce Jamieson and Cameron Dunbar. Case in point, they're continuing to get on the ball and make things happen.
Yeah, I think he's been able to re-establish belief in these players. When you're going through a rough time, or you look at the results that Orange County have had over the course of this season and the players that they've lost, the goals that they've lost with some of the players that they've lost, they can lose belief in themselves, they can lose confidence in themselves. And I think Danny Stone has done a great job of just being a brilliant man manager and restoring some of that belief and self-confidence in the players in themselves, and that's allowed them to have the uptick in performance they have, to re-galvanize the energy in some of the players on the field and restore the performance collectively as a group.
A few months back, Orange County had a bye week that they had after a kind of a tough stretch, tough results against Vegas, and then they had a game against Rhode Island. It was a little bit better, but not where they wanted it. They used that bye week to reset the season, to reframe the season, Danny Stone kept telling us, and it's been all uphill and positive from there, as James Chambers has to help Tyreek McGee back up onto his feet after a tough moment there.
Yeah, I think we asked Danny Stone, you know, what's the secret sauce that you've used to re-galvanize this group? And he spoke to us about the intensity of training. He spoke to us about the energy that players are demanded to bring to training, and he's the leader of that action. He's like, he has to ensure that he arrives with the right energy, he displays the right energy, so then the players can feed off of him. He also spoke about his voice is more often than not the loudest voice in the training session. And he spoke about some of the changes they've adapted. And, you know, we asked him, you know, has there been any resistance? Has everybody bought in? He said every single player has bought in, and that's probably allowed us to be successful, is that everybody has bought into the changes that he's tried to bring. And that's allowed the uptick, because now the group is more collective, more together, and working at a much higher intensity than previous. And he thinks that's the source, not secret source, but maybe the fundamental source that's allowed them to re-galvanize themselves.
Enriquez cutting in field. Speedy Williams trying to pick out Ronaldo Damas. It's touched away by Dylan Powers. It's going to go out for a switchbacks throw.
Again, it's Williams finding the ball in pockets and just playing little balls in behind the defense, in behind the midfield. What they've got to do, Orange County, in this situation is when the ball is in their defensive third, they've got to get tighter to the players. They've got to get tighter to the players. It's not good enough just having bodies behind the ball and allowing the players to pick up the ball in time and space and pick passes forward. The difficulty, as you can see, is Williams drifts. 1 minute he's up in the attacking third, then he drifts in between the two centre backs. He's difficult to pick up, but he's the player in the centre of the park that's making this Colorado Springs team tick right now.
Chris, you mentioned earlier about injuries and things like that. It's a good time to mention the Common Spirit injury report. Colorado Springs, for the most part, are okay, although we were told that Jonas Fjellberg might be another week. If Colorado Springs advances, he might be more back into the fold, but they've been without Kyle Scott, Kevin Partita. Brian Olowski's been out for a big chunk of the season. He's not coming back. Danny Stone had to inherit that as well as an assistant coach and now as the interim head coach.
Yeah, I think Kyle Scott is probably the biggest loss in there right now. Maybe one of the best midfielders in the league, but definitely the heartbeat of this Orange County team for a number of seasons. What he brings both offensively, defensively, from a mindset perspective, from a quality in possession of the ball perspective, he's a huge loss. And to find themselves in this position, picking up wins, winning games without some of those names is a testament to itself. You miss 5 players of that magnitude and you're not remotely close to being the same team anymore. So I think they deserve a lot of credit for where they are right now. They have to find a way to keep themselves going, but definitely missing some key players in tonight's game.
Cross in from Jameson. He's going to go on to the roof of the net. There were other players who were hurt as well throughout the season. Seth Kasipley was dealing with injuries during this campaign. Marcus Nakim, of course, has been the leader on this Orange County side. They also picked up injuries throughout the season. The list really goes on and on. And of course, Morten Carlson left to go back to Europe to continue his coaching career. There were some good moments under Paul Hardiman, who was promoted from the academy staff to the head coaching position, but then it faded after a bit of time. Even after Danny Stone came in as an assistant coach, it still wasn't clicking. But then when Danny Stone took over as head coach, it all changed in a couple of weeks.
They're having a great phase, as we spoke about. The last couple of months have been good, but you look at the table, they won 13 games this season, they lost 14, so they lost more games than they won this season. Their goal differential is -7. So far over the course of the season, it wasn't great, but they find themselves in a good position right now where if they continue this, all those moments are forgotten and they find themselves in a potential to lift the trophy.
It's a free kick scoring opportunity brought to you by Underline, delivering a gigabit fiber internet, underline.com/COS. Rocha will stand over it. Delivers the ball into the middle of the penalty area. It's headed out only as far as Matt Mahoney. Hasn't missed a minute this season for the Switchbacks. Finds Zach Zandy. Zandy into the middle, and it was a real chance there for the arriving Aiden Rocha. Couldn't get his feet right. Speedy Williams pings one over to the far side. Pillow touch from Enriquez.
I think Orange County can count themselves lucky that was Rocha, a fullback, and it wasn't Zandy. I think if it was Zandy, you find yourself picking that one out the back of the net. Again, a great opportunity. Rocha finds himself in time and space, just didn't have the composure to hit the volley or to connect with the volley, but another great opportunity. Time and space, nobody near him. Too much time and space in the attacking third for Colorado Springs right now. Orange County have to do a better job of getting close to players in that area.
Big clearance from Ashish Chata as McGee tried to link up with Enriquez. Zubak lost out, but it falls kindly for Orange County, and then it's a poor ball up ahead as the visitors actually had some numbers on the break there.
Yeah, I think after the go-ahead goal for Orange County, the pendulum has definitely swung in favor of Colorado Springs. More possession on the ball, creating more opportunities, dictating the tempo of the game, and probably a little bit better quality in possession of the ball also. We see a moment there from Orange County where a nice ball through in behind gives them a chance to get the ball into that attacking third and get delivery into the box, but it just lacked the composure and the quality to make it happen.
Speedy Williams got the assist on the Zandy goal, so it's actually now 5 assists this season if you include the playoffs. It just continues to be a foundational piece of this James Chambers side. Goals were about 6 minutes apart in the opening 10 minutes of the game. And off a takeaway here, Enriquez for Damas. McGee surges forward. As Zach Zandy for company. And Zach Zandy gets it back to McGee. It slips past him. And Cameron Dunbar is able to recover it for Orange County.
But again, Sean, it's a similar trend. Players picking up the ball, facing forward, driving under time and space, no pressure, nobody closing them down. The reason they don't create our goal scoring opportunities is because of a poor pass. It's not because of good defending. They got them out of trouble there.
Owen Lamb bringing Orange County into the attack. Thinks better of it as he was covered. It's a reset for Chata. Orange County will go around the horn to reset the play here. Be a chance to send this into the middle. It wasn't far away from Bryce Jamieson. Had to be cleared out by Matt Real. And it's going to be an Orange County corner on this near side. It's going to be brought to you by T-Row Price. Invest with confidence.
Yeah, Real gives away an unnecessary corner kick here. If he checked his shoulders, he realized there wasn't any threat behind him. Could have just let the ball run across his body and start the attack, or allowed it to run out for a throw-in, but he opted to clear it for a corner kick, and now they find themselves defending a situation that they possibly didn't need to. Look at the size of Herrera.
Seth Kasipley will take the T-Row Price corner. And he bluffed it, taking it short. Hagart was there. He goes right into the middle. It's a free header! And there's a foul before it goes in. A foul before the ball was chested in by Cameron Dunbar. The goal does not count. The referee gives a free kick to Colorado Springs, and we may have to look back at this one.
And if we're playing Monopoly, I think that's a get-out-of-jail free card there. We spoke about unnecessarily giving away the corner kick. You can now understand the dangers of it. The ball's delivered directly from the corner kick. Great flick on at the near post.
There's a first bluff sequence there, and then I think it's just behind with Hanya involved here.
I don't think there's anything intentional here from Powers, I think. His hands are in the air. I don't see him do anything intentional there that really warrants a free kick.
I think what happens there is Zubak elbowed Hanya into Powers, and I think the referee put 2 and 2 together there. That's my best guess. Might have been a culmination of 2 different sequences there, or 2 different actions, I should say.
Either way, I think we...
Jamieson, meanwhile, can't keep the ball in play.
We see the danger of giving away unnecessary set pieces there. Whether it's a free kick or not, it was almost a go-ahead goal there from Orange County from a corner kick that they did not need to concede. Sometimes, you know, we take it that set pieces aren't that important, but 30% of goals are scored from dead ball situations.
Real into the middle. Headed away from Damas by Powers. I think both things can be true, Chris. It's a situation where maybe the Switchbacks, you can argue, get a fair shake there, but you can also say they were let off the hook in a lot of ways too.
Yep.
Mahoney looks to rev up another Switchbacks attack. Real, time and space. Looks to send it into the penalty area. Oh my goodness! Palmed over the top by Shuttler, who just about saves Orange County's bacon. My goodness, it almost flew all the way in.
I'm not sure I'm convinced he meant to do that. I think this was a badly hit cross. Just looking where he's looking like he's about to deliver the ball to a teammate. I think he mishits it. Shuttler does ever work so well to keep his eyes on the ball and adjust to push this over the crossbar. Would have been some goal had that found its way into the back of the net.
Both teams just about getting themselves out of trouble. It's a McDivitt Law Firm corner here. We're in your corner. Colorado Springs looking for their first lead of the night. Will be delivered by Rocha. Rocha's ball in looking for Damas. Headed away, not cleared yet. Now it's helped along. Only as far as Duke Lacroix, who recycles the play. Mahoney reassesses the scene, and it's a full recycle back to Hanya. Again, there's time and space to work with here. Rocha takes a wicked deflection. It's gonna rainbow over the top of Damas, and then cleared only as far as Matt Mahoney, who sends it soaring into the seats.
I can't envision that Orange County's game plan is to allow Colorado Springs to have so much time and space. Look at this delivery from wide. There's nobody getting out to shut down the cross or put him under pressure. Just allowing him the time and space to deliver the ball in however freely he wants, and then gambling that they're going to be good enough to defend it. If you're Orange County, I would rather stop the ball at the source rather than try to deal with the symptoms. Stop the cross coming into the box rather than having to win that 1v1 battle in the box, otherwise it ends up being a goal.
Of course, the big switchbacks moment so far tonight, the Speedy Williams assist on the Zandy equalizer to cancel out the opening goal from Ethan Zubak. Since then, it has been both teams taking big swings at the other. Should mention as well, all switchbacks goals presented by Centuries Casino, your hometown casino. Welcome to the winner's zone. Hanya, a little bit of a lash out there at the end of the sequence. Didn't need to stay involved in that. Tyreek McGee continues to move forward. Referee was about to blow the whistle. Play continues. In by Real on the head of Damas, but he didn't have any chance to leap up for it.
I'm shocked at the amount of time Orange County allowing Colorado Springs in possession of the ball. Real, again, in the left-hand side there. Tons of space, no pressure, nobody closing him down to deliver balls into the box. Like, I'm shocked that that's the game plan they've taken to approach this game.
Enriquez, the attacking sequence continues for Colorado Springs. Ball into the middle again, looking for Damas, a diving header. Williams on the volley, Damas on the turn, Shuttler with the save. It goes out for a corner on the near side. Another huge stop to another fluid Switchbacks attacking sequence.
Wave after wave of attack for Colorado Springs against this Orange County defense. But look, again, another dangerous ball into the box. It's good defensive header, but then the second ball, Williams really should have done better with that strike. He's under no pressure on the edge of the box again. He shanks his shot, and then it falls to Damas. Luckily, he was able to control it and turn and get a shot off. Shuttler comes up massive in goal, but the defending from Orange County right now, in and around the 18-yard box in the defensive third, is nothing close to good enough.
Pikes Peak National Bank corner, bank well, be well, cheer loud. Sent in over the head of Shuttler. It's going to be tracked down by Damas. Damas against his former club wins a throw-in on the far side. Other than the Cameron Dunbar goal that was chalked out, and maybe one other Dunbar chance, it has been a deluge of switchbacks attacks in this first half. But can Orange County break out of it here? Chata looks to lead them forward. Bryce Jamieson hasn't had too many opportunities in this first half. Orange County forced to slow it down just a touch. And Nakim for Lamb. Danny Stone's side start to build their way back here. Talk about, of course, how Switchbacks have had most of the opportunities since the opening goals have gone in, but both teams had to deal with a close call in just the last few sequences alone. And the winner goes to the Western Conference Final to take on Las Vegas, who are in their first ever playoff run as a club and are going to play for a spot in the final, incredibly, and could host, by the way. Remember, if Orange County goes through, Las Vegas is the higher seed. They would host the Western Conference Final unless Colorado Springs prevails.
Great tackle there. I think it's Nakim stopping the run of Damas in behind there.
It allows Orange County to build here. Played out wide by Haggart. Dunbar touched away right at the end by Rocha. And then miscommunication between Enriquez and McGee. Orange County still have it here, and the shot comes in from Ryan Dogman, who pirouetted just to keep the possession alive, but was not able to hit the target with his shot.
Opportunity here for both teams, because Haggart does a good job of dropping a little bit deeper to get touches on the ball, because they haven't been able to find him that high and dangerous area. So he drops a little bit deeper to get touches on the ball. And after he lays it off and goes wide, he makes a run forward, and nobody tracks his run forward. Finds himself in tons of space on his own. So if they're able to recognize that as a team, when he goes wide and they look for him again, he's in time and space in the box if they can find the delivery and the qualities to find him.
These two teams have so much history, not just in the playoffs, but in general. It's the 20th all-time meeting between these two tonight. It's so tight as well. Orange County only leads 9 victories to Colorado Springs' 8. There have been 2 draws in the fixture's history. If that happens, of course, we'll have more soccer to play tonight.
Tactically right now, I feel like Colorado Springs are getting the better of Orange County also. You can see that it's almost like a back 3 when Colorado are building out from the back, and neither Zubak or Haggart are able to put any pressure on the defenders, so they're moving the ball from side to side. The centre-backs are driving into midfield and creating overload in numbers. They're tactically getting the better of them now in the build-up play.
And we talked about it earlier, Orange County's 9-game unbeaten run, not just their season, of course, at stake tonight. Since Danny Stone took over, Orange County's only lost once in 10 games with him as the interim head coach. 7 victories, 2 draws. Despite all the great Switchbacks work, it's still tied here. It's still on a knife edge. Here's Enriquez. Reverse ball to find McGee. McGee switches the play to Real. Real's ball into the middle, was trying to find Hanya. Speedy Williams picks up the pieces to recycle for the Switchbacks. Enriquez is there to help. Rocha bending one into the middle. Chata is there for Orange County, and it's cleared away. Reset by Lacroix. Space for Real to take advantage of, and trying to slide it through for Damas. It actually almost fell for Hanya. And then it's going to be cleared away by Lamb.
I think if you were to analyze this first half, you're definitely seeing a team that finished in 6th and a team that finished in 2nd. Now that is not what the final result could represent. I watched the game last night. The possession was 70%. The other team had 20 shots compared to 5 shots, and the team that had the percentage and higher shots lost the game 3-2. So that's not indicative of what the final result is going to be, but I'm talking about from a possession based play, from creating opportunities, from intensity, pressing, collectiveness. I think Colorado Springs have been far superior in this first half. However, the score is still 1-1. Orange County are very much still in this game. I think if they can get to half-time without conceding another goal, it gives Danny Stone a chance to address some of the deficiencies that they're having in this first half. More than anything, how they're defending in the defensive third, putting pressure on the ball, being tight, compact, putting players under pressure is the first and foremost area they need to address. And once they've addressed that, then they can start to build their way back into the game. But I think that they're fortunate that they're not down by more goals going into half-time, because Colorado Springs have had a lot of time to create in the attacking third without too much pressure.
After McGee skied his effort, we have an injury stoppage brought to you by Common Spirit Health. It looks like it's Yosuke Hanya. Didn't look like there was a ton of contact as he fell to the ground. It might have been from something earlier in the sequence after McGee took aim from, well, quite some distance, but that's nothing new for him. Even Danny Stone, unprompted, talked about how they have to monitor McGee when he's in and around the penalty area, because he's not afraid to aim from those kind of distances. But of course, this would not be a good thing for James Chambers. Yosuke Hanya, of course, scored a bucket load of goals in MLS Next Pro last season for Colorado Rapids 2. With the Switchbacks this season, he's been one of their best goal scorers, 5 goals this season. He actually scored against Orange County here, a brace, in fact, the last time these two met in Colorado Springs, and they don't want to lose him.
Yeah, James Chambers described Tyreek McGee as the player that they want to continue to find with the ball, but he's been dangerous in this first half, but Williams has been finding himself in advanced areas. Zandy has found himself in advanced areas. Hanya's found himself in advanced areas. Damas, you could say, has probably been a little bit quiet given that the balls haven't been played over top into the channels. He had the one chance a couple of moments ago, but he hasn't had too many touches on the ball, as much a threat as you would have liked. So McGee has been okay, but I think it's a combination of Williams, Zandy, McGee in that midfield. All three of them have been very instrumental in this first half for Colorado Springs.
It does look like Yosuke Hanya is going to rejoin us and try to continue on. It helps for James Chambers that halftime is approaching here, so if there is something wrong, as Hanya is back on, they can evaluate it even further during the halftime interval.
Yeah, I think if they can just patch him up and get him through the next couple of minutes to halftime, then they can reevaluate and see if he genuinely needs to come out of the game. Great play there from Zandy. Sales Kasipli, there's nothing more he can do apart from chop him down at the knees.
Well, two very talented, very experienced players tangling there. Another chance here for Colorado Springs. Oh, nearly some miscommunication, but Powers let it go, and that was the right decision. Colin Shuttler was there.
Ball after ball after ball being delivered from the wide areas under no pressure. It's Rocher on this occasion on his weaker left foot, cuts inside, tried to deliver a ball towards the back post, probably slightly mishits it, but sometimes those ones can find themselves in the back of the net with nobody touching them.
We're into 3 added minutes, brought to you by the TikTok Shop. And both goals happened very early as Zubac tap in after a miscommunication moment between Lacroix and Herrera. And then a wonderful equalizer. 6 minutes later, Speedy Williams finding Zach Zandy.
I think if you're James Chambers and you're going at halftime, you're pretty happy with the way they perform in the first half, albeit the mistake in the first 5 minutes. You're probably asking for more of the same, but just more clinicality.
Speedy Williams tried to touch it over the top of Powers. Orange County do clear it. Oh, and there was a little bit of an extra moment there. I think Enriquez maybe left a little bit something on Dogman. It's an OC free kick.
I think James Chambers is asking will ask for them to be more clinical, because for the dominance that they've had in the first half, they're not leading the game. It's tied 0-0. For Orange County, I think in the second half, there's actually a ton of room for improvement. If Danny Stone can get the group together, get them to understand where they're being taken advantage of right now, get them to change certain things in their aspects of the way they're defending, they're going to have more of the ball, they're going to win more of the ball. Just have to be better at what they do with it to keep it and create opportunities when they do. So for Colorado Springs, I think that they're probably performing close to their maximum. For Orange County, there's a ton of room for improvement, so I expect to see a better Orange County in the second half. It'll be interesting to see if Colorado Springs can be more clinical than they've been in the first half in the opportunities that they created, but I think we're still set for a very exciting second half to this game.
Of course, Colorado Springs were eliminated in the first round of the playoffs last season. Orange County got to a Western Conference semifinal a season ago. They were at home as well. They lost to Phoenix deep into extra time in Irvine. Of course, Phoenix beat everybody last season to win the whole thing.
If you're looking at game changers on that Orange County bench, Amang is one of the names that pops up. You know, he's a player that can be very hard to handle. He can do a job of creating. He can very good in hold-up play. He can run in behind. He's very strong. He can finish. He's a player that can come on and definitely have a positive impact in the attacking third, but they do have some defensive areas they need to improve also.
Hanya gets there ahead of Owen Lamb. Final seconds of the half here. And Orange County are going to have a very late corner opportunity. And
it's another corner conceded, and you really look back at it, you question, does he need to concede a corner in that situation? I would say try to avoid it, as he probably takes the easy option conceding the corner here. It's going to be interesting to see if they're able, how well they're able to defend this, because for Orange County, it's a fantastic opportunity to get the go-ahead goal.
T-Row Price corner, invest with confidence. Gisipli will take. They go to the near post again. It's headed away by Mahoney. Gisipli gets a second try. Herrera committed. Oh, Damas blocked it with his face, and then Powers skies it over the top. Well, Dylan Powers nearly making himself a playoff hero again for Orange County. And Ronaldo Damas with a brave bit of defending for the Switchbacks in the middle of all that.
Again, a corner given away that ends up being an opportunity that Orange County will be looking back on that they should have equalised from. Powers, exactly the same area that he was last week when he got the go-ahead goal. Ball bounces down to him, luckily, probably not expecting it. Not the right technique to convert that into the back of the net. He'll be kicking himself at half-time that they're not going in 2-1.
It's half-time here at Widener Field. It was a bit of a roller coaster of a first half. 1-1 is the score. Zubak's goal canceled out by Zach Zandy. And the plot thickens with 45 minutes to play here in Colorado Springs. These two teams want to return to a Western Conference final. It's been a couple of years since the Switchbacks have been there. It's been 3 years since Orange County's played for a spot in the final. They're tied here at Widener Field with 45 minutes to play, and we'll have halftime coming up next.
Injured in a crash? Get McDivitt and you get a firm dedicated to every single detail of your case.
We have the knowledge and resources to investigate the crash and your insurance company's small print.
Details matter. That's why we dive deep into every aspect of your case. This gives us the firepower we need to make the insurance company pay you the money you deserve.
We never ask you to pay a penny until we get you max money for your injuries.
Online at mcdivittlaw.com.
McDivitt.
Natural gas ensures that when you need to heat things up, you can, but it can also be hazardous. That's why, in the event of a natural gas leak, you need to know the 3 S's. The first one, sound. Listen for the sound of hissing or whistling. Number 2, sight. Look for dead or discolored vegetation in an otherwise green area. And number 3, smell. It's hard to miss. Be on the lookout for a pungent odor like rotten eggs. If you notice any of these signs, leave the area immediately and call 911. For more information, go to csu.org.
The moment you call McDivitt, an action plan is put into place right away to get you the help you need.
Each case and each client is different, with different needs and solutions. Your attorney and team immediately investigates every aspect of your crash and injuries.
We track down all the paperwork and deal directly with the insurance company for you.
We keep you in the loop every step of the way, fighting to get you max money for your injuries.
And you never pay us a dime until we get money for you.
McDivitt.
Colorado Springs Utilities serves electric, gas, water, and wastewater. If you combine all 4 services, you're paying around 11% less than anybody else on the Front Range. Water is the only one of our 4 services where you pay more. Since we have no river systems of our own, more than 70% of our water comes from Colorado's West Slope. Colorado Springs Utilities has delivered all 4 of these services safely, reliably, and at the best value to you for the last 100 years, and we will continue to do that long into the future.
Halftime in Colorado Springs is presented by Common Spirit. Colorado Springs won, Orange County won in this Western Conference semifinal. Still a big 45 minutes still to go here at Widener Field. Tonight's honorary healthcare professionals of the match are Marin Herta, the executive assistant at St. Francis Hospital Interquest. Thank you for everything you've done to help our community. The healthcare professional at the match is sponsored by Olson Plumbing and Heating. Marin Hurtado and her crew have done a wonderful job, and thanks for all you've done for the Colorado Springs community. We're excited to see, of course, how the second half is going to play out. But of course, before we get to that, we'll look around the USL Championship with the Golden Awards around the league as these fans are getting set for the second half in this Western Conference semi.
Opportunity here. The hit and a goal. 2 goals apiece. And that's, you said, the lethal left foot of Markanek. There it is. Yeah. His 6th of the season.
Malloy. Ball hangs in the air. Attempt to strike down the first time. Oh! Wow! It's Markanek! What a stunner that is! 12 goals on the year! None better than that! Wanda V. Torres lofts this ball back post. Markanek! Spectacular! What an incredible volley that is to torch the threads and make it 3-0. A brace for North America's leading goal scorer. Ball dropped off for Morris. Morris through, no! There's the save by Dick.
McCartney flicks it over his head. Pino kept the move going. Pino, a serve across. Dotson, a touch. Martinez saved. What a play by Eric Dick to deny Enzo Martinez a close range.
A little hesitation gets him into the book. And there's a dangerous cross, and oh, what a stop by Eric Dick. Are you kidding me?
So many coaches will use that 10-game barometer. You think that's about right?
I agree with that, yeah.
That's when you start to get a grip.
Great ball. Fuson, that's excellent. Dequan!
A swarm of black jerseys firing forward. They wanted a handball, nothing given. Fuson and Williams in the attack. Squared across. J.J. Williams clips it up, and he has the third.
While at the other end, Rhode Island will put away a third. It's Joseph Brito from Noah Fuson. And the visitors, after nearly conceding the equalizer, come back and score a third, and it's 3-1 Rhode Island.
Yeah. Get it. Get it. Shoulda got a dog.
When mice show up, so do we. Terminix it. New flavors. The same traditions. Be the guest of honor. Add more flavor to your parties. El Jimador. Spiked Bebidas.
Welcome to Do or Die. Welcome to stories that give meaning to it all. The juggernaut chasing history. The hero hoping for a Hollywood ending. The upstart determined to make the most of its shot at glory. Welcome to second-guessing everything. Every coach's decision. Every referee's call. Every pass, shot, tackle, save. Because you know it all means more now. Welcome to the playoffs.
When mosquitoes show up, so do we. Terminix it.
Yeah, trick. I said what I said. I'd rather be famous instead.
Injured in a crash? Get McDivitt and you get a firm dedicated to every single detail of your case.
We have the knowledge and resources to investigate the crash and your insurance company's small print.
Details matter. That's why we dive deep into every aspect of your case. This gives us the firepower we need to make the insurance company pay you the money you deserve.
We never ask you to pay a penny until we get you max money for your injuries.
Online at McDivittLaw.com.
McDivitt.
Common Spirit halftime continues from Widener Field in Colorado Springs. Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse, our entire crew, happy to have you with us. We'll get to the second half in a moment, 1-1 in this Western Conference semi between Colorado Springs and Orange County. The Tiger Balm news and notes from around the league. Huge news with Sac Republic's new majority ownership group and that plan to build a soccer-specific stadium in the Californian capital. That's a big piece of news, not just for that part of the country, but for the USL Championship as a whole. We talked about Danny Stone earlier, Coach of the Month honors, and J.J. Williams. We're going to get to more on him in a second, but he just can't stop scoring for Rhode Island at the moment. And of course, Mark Briggs and Alan Marcina mutually parting ways with their respective clubs. That's been one of the big stories away from the field this week. And Chris, we look back at some of the other playoff games from this round. This has been the shocker everyone's talking about. There's only been 2 Louisville losses at home this season. Both of them are thanks to Rhode Island.
Yeah, I think you have to give Cano Smith a tremendous amount of credit for what he's accomplished with this Rhode Island team in their first year in the USL Championship. I don't think he had very modest expectations. You know, he talked to him, everything was about winning one game at a time, but to find themselves in the playoffs and then to pull off this upset against Louisville City, absolutely incredible start to their tenure as a new franchise in USL Championship, and they keep themselves in the hunt. They're in the draw for the next round. 3-0 win over Louisville City, I bet gave this organization a ton of confidence going forward.
J.J. Williams has played a huge part. He had a hat trick on the final day of the regular season against Miami. Who knew he'd be able to keep this up in the playoffs? 3-0 to Rhode Island, the final score. The maiden voyage for Dennis Sanchez and the Lights in the postseason has sent them to a Western Conference final thanks to a late winner from Corey Bennett.
Yeah, you can see the disappointment here. New Mexico, as this ball creeps into the back of the net, you can see their souls leaving their hearts. Everybody collapses to the field with their hands on their heads.
And just
after
like
the season
that,
they've had, heartbreaking.
Just like that, both #1 seeds are gone. Las Vegas, again, depending on how it plays out, they could host a Western Conference final. This one earlier today on CBS Sports Network. Great start for the Rowdies, but the Battery had the last laugh.
Yeah, and I'm kind of happy that the Battery got the last laugh. They've been very good this season, impressive. Tampa obviously taking the lead here, but Charleston finding a way to get themselves back into the game.
None other than Nick Marcanic, the record goal scorer this season, and of course in USL Championship history. What about this strike from the Irishman, Aaron Malloy? That was the match winner.
You don't get much better free kicks than that. Placed into the top corner, off the upright. Big moment, big goal, big games.
He's coming off an injury as well. Wonderful performance there. 1-1 here. Colorado Springs and Orange County will have highlights and stats, and then the second half kick next.
Injured in a crash? Get McDivitt and you get a firm dedicated to every single detail of your case.
We have the knowledge and resources to investigate the crash and your insurance company's small print.
Details matter. That's why we dive deep into every aspect of your case. This gives us the firepower we need to make the insurance company pay you the money you deserve.
We never ask you to pay a penny until we get you max money for your injuries.
Online at McDivittLaw.com.
McDivitt.
Natural gas ensures that when you need to heat things up, you can, but it can also be hazardous. That's why, in the event of a natural gas leak, you need to know the 3 S's. The first one, sound. Listen for the sound of hissing or whistling. Number 2, sight. Look for dead or discolored vegetation in an otherwise green area. And number 3, smell. It's hard to miss. Be on the lookout for a pungent odor like rotten eggs. If you notice any of these signs, leave the area immediately and call 911. For more information, go to csu.org.
The moment you call McDivitt, an action plan is put into place right away to get you the help you need.
Each case and each client is different, with different needs and solutions. Your attorney and team immediately investigates every aspect of your crash and injuries.
We track down all the paperwork and deal directly with the insurance company for you.
We keep you in the loop every step of the way, fighting to get you max money for your injuries.
And you never pay us a dime until we get money for you.
McDivitt.
Colorado Springs Utilities serves electric, gas, water, and wastewater. If you combine all 4 services, you're paying around 11% less than anybody else on the Front Range. Water is the only one of our 4 services where you pay more. Since we have no river systems of our own, more than 70% of our water comes from Colorado's West Slope. Colorado Springs Utilities has delivered all 4 of these services safely, reliably, and at the best value to you for the last 100 years, and we will continue to do that long into the future.
Common Spirit halftime rolls on from Colorado Springs. Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse here with you in this Western Conference semifinal tonight. Nothing to separate Colorado Springs and Orange County yet. There's still a big 45 minutes to come to potentially decide it. Halftime highlights are brought to you by Broadmoor Cryotherapy, and it didn't take long for Danny Stone's men to snatch the lead.
Zubek getting his Thanksgiving gift a little bit early here, putting a plate for him. Makes no mistake burying it into the back of the net. Terrible misunderstanding there at the back for Colorado Springs. Gave Orange County a very early lead.
But a great response after a shock to the Switchback systems.
Williams here, so much time and space. A great first-time finish from Zandy, also under no pressure. This is the area we've identified for Orange County that need to improve. He's getting pressure on the ball in and around the attacking third.
What a moment that was for Zach Zandy to make it 1-1. And then Orange County did have some chances to get the lead back.
Great ball in behind here, and great save from Herrera, exploiting space in behind.
Really, the theme was wave after wave of Switchbacks attacks.
Switchbacks got 16 crosses into the box in this first half, and here's Damas Great control and turn. Shuttler comes up with a big save.
That's why we're at 1-1. Broadmoor Cryotherapy halftime stats look like this, and they tell you, for the most part, that the Switchbacks have had the better of things to this point.
Yeah, the dominance has been for the Switchbacks. 64% possession. They've been creating chances, number of crosses coming into the box. But as we spoke about pre-game, being clinical with that possession and the opportunities they've had. They haven't been clinical enough, hence the score is still 1-1. If they're going to really kick on in this second half, they've got to be clinical. Orange County had an opportunity just before the halftime whistle to take the 2-1 lead. Powers, unfortunately, hit it over the crossbar, but that's the situation finds itself. For the dominance Colorado Springs have had, they're not leading the game, and Orange County is still very much in the game, able to get goal-scoring opportunities.
Now we're really thrilled to see how this one's going to play out in the second half. It does look like that Colorado Springs has made a substitution. We talked about how Yosuke Hanya was trying to give it a go at the end of the first half to give James Chambers and his side more time to mull over a possible change. Well, they mulled it over, and James Chambers has made a substitution here. Quincy Hewerman is going to come on. The French international will take the place of Yosuke Hanya. That's a big development at the start of the second half for Colorado Springs. It's a big loss for James Chambers as far as the attack is concerned. Quincy Hewerman certainly capable of making an impact. Yosuke Hanya has been one of the main attacking threats for Colorado Springs this season, Chris.
Yeah, we saw Hanya take that knock just before halftime, and he tried to run it off, but obviously the medical staff have evaluated him at halftime and deemed it's not worth taking a risk, or he's not able to continue. And an early change for Colorado Springs that they're going to have to adapt to very quickly at the start of the second half.
Substitutions are brought to you by the William J. Hibble Sports Medicine and Performance Center. Learn more at hibblecenter.org.
The catch for Orange County is, despite not pressing that well and closing down in the defensive third against Colorado Springs, they're still very much in the game. Now, if they go and start to be a little bit more aggressive in how they press, does that open up space in behind for Colorado Springs to take advantage of, now give them more opportunities. This is going to be the conundrum in the start of the second half, to see how they go about adapting and changing what they did in the first half. They did create a number of opportunities that could have allowed them to take the lead, but they did allow Colorado Springs a lot of opportunities also to get themselves further in front. So it's going to be interesting to see what they're willing to give up in pursuit of getting that go-ahead goal.
Of course, we get a chance to look at the second half keys to the game. They're brought to you by Lau's Taco Shop, the official taco shop partner of the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. You pointed out, Chris, the finishing in the final third. Obviously, Zandy providing a spark, but others have to contribute as well.
Yeah, as we spoke about, they've had dominance in possession and creating opportunities. 16 crosses Colorado Springs putting in that first half, but there's just not been enough goal-scoring opportunities or tested Herrera enough with those, Shuttler enough with those shots. For Orange County, on the other hand, they need to get more pressure on players in and around the 18-yard box. There was so much time in that first half when Williams, Zandy.
Takeaway here, Enriquez. Chopping it towards the byline, into the middle. Oh, it's almost an own goal. Ricochet off of Kisipli, and Shuttler is able to get there.
Another cross for Colorado Springs early in the second half. Almost turned in by an Orange County player, but 1v1 battle there up against Lamb. Enriquez gets the better of him. I think it's Kisipli there. Will be happy to see his goalkeeper gather that one, saving the blushes of scoring an own goal.
Couple of awkward moments tonight for Colin Shuttler, and there's another one. Oh, Hewerman almost picks his pocket. And Orange County somehow survive, although they get the ball back again. Speedy Williams, Tyreek McGee, Damas. Damas is going to be harried, but he keeps it alive. Speedy Williams again.
Very aggressive start to the second half from Colorado Springs.
Rocha. Hewerman. Hewerman tried to cross it into the middle. It takes a friendly hop as far as Orange County are concerned, but they do concede possession again. Here's Lacroix. Out to the far side, Real. For the goal scorer, Zandy. And Zandy reshuffles the cards. Before that Shuttler moment, I was about to say, had to make an acrobatic save on what really looked more like a cross from Matt Real that ended up on target, and he had a couple other interesting first half moments. Add that last one to the list, as this is a good take by Damas.
Great touch there from Damas.
McGee for Huerman, who doesn't quite have his shooting boots on. Orange County were opened up, and Quincy Huerman couldn't take the chance.
Huerman, he already decided what he was going to do with this ball before the pass was even laid to him. You can already see how he lines up his body. The pass is just a little bit behind him. He just wants it to open up on his left foot so he can guide it into the far corner. Probably just needed to adjust once he realized the pass wasn't exactly what he needed. But great ball movement there from Colorado Springs, switching the point of attack.
Another takeaway. Ball threaded through for Damas, and Damas goes through the back of Dylan Powers.
Excellent start to this second half from Colorado Springs, doing a great job of getting Raul and Rocha very, very, very high and wide, which is stretching this Orange County back four, creating pockets and holes in between them that they're exploiting with passes in behind. Orange County really need to have some dominance in possession of the ball, hold on to the ball a little bit and try to work themselves into this game.
Orange County trying to get over the conference semifinal hurdle after losing at home to Phoenix last season in extra time. Colorado Springs lost away to San Antonio in the opening round. Just a late challenge comes in there. Referee waves on advantage for Cameron Dunbar. Dunbar, it's a defender on his backside and forces a save out of Christian Herrera. Referee may revisit the challenge that was just in front of James Chambers, but here's another look.
Dunbar does well to get in behind here. A little bit of trickery causes Williams to slip. Probably doesn't connect with that strike or that shot as well as he would have liked. Pretty straightforward for Herrera in the end.
Orange County trying to make it 10 games unbeaten and clinch a spot in a Western Conference final for the first time in 3 years for the Switchbacks. They've never lost a home playoff game here at Widener Field. If that continues, they'll go to a second ever Western Conference final, and they'll host Las Vegas. So much on the line. McGee, handball appeals come in. Huerman follows up. Orange County clears.
Because Orange County haven't had that much possession, most of their opportunities have been on the counter-attack. Switchbacks have been comfortable being man-for-man with Zubek and Hegark, being marked by Lacroix and Mahoney, and Williams just occupying that space in front. But obviously on the counter-attack with Raul and Rocha operating very, very high and wide, the spaces are there in the wide areas on the counter-attack. But Mahoney and Lacroix have been able to defend fairly well.
Quincy Huerman needed a moment. Of course, he's on as injury replacement for Yosuke Hanya. Switchbacks continue to try to thread the needle here, and in the end, it's a takeaway. Orange County have it through Hagart, and they might be able to open things up here in transition with Nakim, of all people, leading the break. Owen Lamb tries to thread it into the middle. Dunbar was closest to it. It's going to be Hagart who's collapsed upon on the edge of the penalty area. Mahoney and Zandy making sure he didn't have time and space.
Hagart's touch just let him down there. You thought the composure was just setting him up to rifle that into the back of the net with his second touch, but first touch just got away from him a little bit. Colorado Springs did a good job of closing down, snuffing out any danger and not allowing any shots on goal.
Starting to lose track of how many heart-in-mouth moments we've had. In this one tonight, both teams have reasons to thank their lucky stars for some very peculiar moments in the match. Meanwhile, Jamison gets to the byline, cuts it back beautifully, lays it off for Lamb, who's blocked by Williams.
Good defending there from Williams, and good attacking play there from Jamison also.
Bryce Jamison continues on, but he's forced to recycle it to Nakim.
Jamison, one of the younger players on the pitch tonight, picking up playoff experience that's going to be invaluable for him in years to come.
Dogman into the middle. Not the most definitive of clearances, but Tyreek McGee is able to clean up the pieces.
You could say some of the injuries that Orange County have allowed them to give more opportunities to some of the younger players that maybe they wouldn't have had they had their best 11 healthy and fit. And that's the kind of the catch-22. You do get injuries, which then opens up opportunities for some players that may not have got the playing time or the opportunity to showcase themselves. And sometimes those players come out and surprise you, able to compete and handle themselves better than you would have expected.
The last time Orange County were here was probably during a stretch, I should say, where Bryce Jamison was playing the best he's played all season, back in June and July. Scored a brace here. Last time these two met in Colorado Springs. That goes back to something Danny Stone told us earlier this week. The confidence dropped from many players in this team during a couple of really tough stretches. Injuries certainly didn't help Orange County. We talked about that earlier, but again, just goes back to the fact that Danny Stone has done a wonderful job getting Orange County back up off the mat these last 8 to 10 games. They're still right in the thick of this Western Conference semi.
Yeah, you envision that given an off-season to build his roster, to really implement his plans, that you're going to see a much, much more competitive Orange County from the get-go next season.
That's just going to be out of the reach of Dogman. Again, this is the final piece of the conference final quartet. You know that Charleston will host Rhode Island in the Eastern Conference semifinal. Charleston trying to go back to the final in back-to-back seasons after losing to Phoenix in the final last time around. What a season it's been for Dennis Sanchez and the Las Vegas Lights. Their first ever playoff appearance, and they're going to play for a Western Conference title against the winner of this one. Oh, and for the second time tonight, a very peculiar miscue from Speedy Williams. It isn't still Halloween, is it? He never does that.
Yeah, it was a strange pass, and then he goes and gets the ball after the pass to give back to his teammates. Maybe it's because the goalkeeper is out injured why he did that. It was intentional.
Very good point. I didn't see that. Should have given him more credit. He doesn't normally make mistakes like that. Those are collector's items for this caliber of player, and Speedy Williams will come off and get some refreshments. Well, I think both teams will have a player evaluated here. Christian Herrera is being stretched out for Colorado Springs. It's an injury stoppage brought to you by Common Spirit. Remember, Christian Herrera's miscue, coupled with a poor header back, of course, led to Orange County's opening goal. But it was the response from James Chambers' side that really turned the game in the first half. The Zach Zandy equalizer in the 10th minute off of an assist by Speedy Williams. Allowed for the Switchbacks to get on level terms, and they've been the better side since, but that stingy Orange County defense, yet again, is keeping them in it. Danny Stone's side on the totality of the season at 15 clean sheets, and up until today was 7 in the last 9. That's going to be what they're going to have to rely on a little bit more if they can't get the lead here.
Yeah, this little stop-in-play timeout is allowing James Chambers just to give some more instructions to his Colorado Springs team 10 minutes into the second half. Orange County didn't quite use the stoppage in the same way, so it's going to be interesting to see how those little bit of moments of feedback have a difference.
We approach the hour mark here. Remember, if it stays like this, we will have 2 15-minute periods of extra time. And then if it's still tied after that, and we play through that regardless of the outcome, we would go to penalties, and we've already had a couple of memorable penalty shootouts in these USL Championship playoffs. Good turn upfield here by Bryce Jamison. He invites Lamb into the play. It's an early ball in the middle looking for Zubak. Instead, it's Herrera who collects.
Asking a little bit too much of Zubak from that delivery into the box. A little bit too far ahead of him for him to really have an opportunity to win that.
Should mention as well, the last time these two played in the playoffs, 2021, there was a few peculiar moments in that game as well. There was the early 31st minute red card that actually put Orange County down to 10 men very early in that game. Robert Kiernan picked that up. This ball's placed into the middle, but of course Damas scored in first half stoppage time for Orange County. It ended up finishing 1-0. That Orange County side defeated a very good Switchbacks team that had the likes of Haji Berry and Nishi and Galina in that Brendan Burke coached side.
McGee in the center of the park there, displaying some wonderful technique with that wonder of a left foot that he has. Some crafty dribbling along with a lovely driven pass across the width of the field.
Clumsy that from Cameron Dunbar. He's had a good night so far. Almost scored, had a goal ruled out for a foul that happened before he was able to chest in a tap in the first half. Aiden Rocha will take. It's an underline free kick goal scoring opportunity. Underline.com/COS. Rocha bends the ball into the middle. He's headed away by Nakim. Picked back up by Williams for Zandy. Enriquez. He's going to run out of room in the end. It's a throw-in for Orange County. And then Jameson held up and brought down.
Be interested to see how both teams use their substitutions approaching the 60-65 minute mark. Normally when coaches start to get busy with their bench, but given the temperature, players normally have the ability to last a little bit longer at this phase of the season in this kind of temperature than they do in the peak and heat of the summer.
Well, the turf monster may have gotten another victim there. Quincy Hewerman falling on the ground there. I don't think he was touched. Actually ends up breaking up a Switchbacks attack. And Orange County are wasteful with their ball up ahead, and it goes right back to Colorado Springs as we've hit a bit of a lull on the hour. But if you've been following Colorado Springs or the USL Championship this season, really both of these teams have been involved in some of the more dramatic games we've seen this season. 30 minutes is an eternity left, especially in a playoff game. Hewerman is offside. It goes right back to the visitors.
It's interesting because if you look at how both of these teams attempt to create their goal scoring opportunities, Colorado Springs have had 19 crosses so far in this game. On the other hand, Orange County have had 11 crosses. So both teams generally use the flanks to create their goal scoring opportunities, but neither of the goals came from crosses in today's game. Obviously, it was the pass from Speedy Williams for Colorado Springs and the defensive mishap that allowed Zubak a chance for Orange County in the opening 5 minutes. But both teams try to get the ball out wide, get crosses into the box, get bodies into the box as the main source of creating the goal scoring opportunities so far in this game. That has been the chosen path for both groups. Possession so far remains in favor of Colorado Springs, almost 60% in favor of Colorado Springs to 40% for Orange County. But possession doesn't win you games. If you don't turn that possession into goal scoring opportunities and convert those chances, many times you can find yourselves singing a sad song at the end of the night.
Another thing I want to throw your way, Chris, is the longer it stays tight as well, it does feel like Orange County with the veterans like Kasipli and Powers, who have won a championship as members of this Orange County team. You start to wonder if that championship DNA could start to show in this veteran group. Again, there's a lot of young players mixed in. Danny Stone talked to us about how that's improved with the confidence, but having Powers and others involved in the squad who have been there and done that could help Orange County through this one tonight as they win a free kick here.
Yeah, I think the experience and the depth in the roster will start to tell the story going into the last 30 minutes of the game. It's going to be those players who have been in this situation before, been in these moments, understand to manage and handle the emotions, have been in these phases of the game, and then the added bonus of players coming in off the bench who can add to them, whether that's defensively to lock things down or being able to unlock the opponent's defense attacking in the attacking third. So I think they're going to be some of the key changes that we're going to see going into the last 30 minutes of the game. And that's where the strength is going to be, those players that we can see some players getting instructions on the sideline now who may be coming into the game to have an impact, but the leadership and experience on the field, the players who've been in this situation before.
Should mention, of course, that Zach Zandy's been on deep playoff run sides. Damas, of course, was on that same Orange County team. Speedy Williams was part of those back-to-back Louisville title runs, 2017 and 2018. So the Switchbacks have plenty of championship DNA amongst their group as well.
A bit far from goal to go direct, but that camera view did make it a little bit teasing, that goalkeeper's right-hand side.
And Marcus Nakim will go for goal! And he forces the save out of Christian Herrera. Wasn't too far for him, but a corner is the outcome.
It's not a bad effort at all there from Nakim. Just weighs up his odds and sees Herrera favoring one side and tries to beat him in the far corner. But Herrera does well reading it, gets both hands onto the ball, pushes it away for a corner kick. Brilliant effort there though from Nakim.
It's a Pikes Peak National Bank corner. Bank well, be well, cheer loud. And our referee, Lorenzo Hernandez, has spotted something. Just making sure all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed. Corner is taken short, and Dunbar does well to tease a ball into the middle. It's going to be headed wide of the target. That was another good set-piece build-up there. But Nakim, involved again, misses the target.
Good play from Dunbar here, just a little bit of creativity to create space for himself in the box to get the cross in. And it's Nakim starting to have an impact in the attacking third from a number of phases. Just saw his free kick push over the crossbar, and then he's again in the box, winning the header from the cross. And he's having a good game. You see him now starting to dictate play, getting his team playing. Leadership. We spoke about players who've been in this situation before, willing to be brave and take leadership in key moments of the game, and Nakim is definitely one of the players stepping up right now.
He's Orange County's captain, of course, just one goal scored this season. He had a couple of chances to double that tally in the last sequence alone. Here is Speedy Williams. Tyreek McGee. Rocha is going to reset it to Matt Mahoney. Williams directing traffic. Lacroix for Real. Some more patient build-up from Colorado Springs. Again, it's a tough nut to crack, this Orange County defensive setup. Rocha on the near side, and you mentioned it, Chris. There's a couple of players getting their marching orders from James Chambers and his coaching staff. We'll get to that once any changes are confirmed. And Orange County's pressure here leaves them a little bit exposed in the middle of the park. Dunbar can't deal with Tyreek McGee. And McGee is able to elude a couple of challenges.
Does such a good job there, McGee, of attracting pressure, but just wasn't able to find a teammate in space. He attracts 2 or 3 Orange County players, which naturally is going to create space for some of his teammates, but just wasn't able to find anybody to release it to.
Rocha. Speedy Williams operating this attack in the final third again. The goal scorer for the Switchbacks, Zach Zandy out wide. Williams. Mahoney. McGee for Rocha. Can the Switchbacks find the key to unlocking Orange County's defense here? Real. He forced a save out of Shuttler when he didn't mean to in the first half. This one soars out of play. Well, the Switchbacks are going to make a double change here. Mid-season acquisition, Justin Dillon. He's going to come on for Ronaldo Damas. And Jairo Enriquez is going to come out as well. Juan Tejada will replace him. These are 2 pretty big changes that James Chambers is making here. Enriquez and Damas, of course, were the players who led Colorado Springs last time out in the victory over Oakland. You see the earlier goal there from Ethan Zubak that got the party started, and then the equalizer from Zach Zandy. That's where we're at right now in this one.
Yeah, very interesting changes. You may say brave. Fortune favors the brave. It's not expected changes that we would have predicted pre-game or even at half-time. Damas has been the go-to guy for goals, but James Chambers obviously sees something that he feels like he needed to amend and feels like he can get a little bit more out in the attacking third by bringing on Dylan and Tejeda.
Juan Tejeda scored that huge goal on Judgment Day against Sac Republic at Sac Republic. It was just his second goal of the season, but it's the reason that Colorado Springs jumped from the 5th seed to the 2 seed and have all this home field advantage, potentially through to the next Western Conference final. As a yellow card comes out here, it looks like, for Zach Zandy.
Yeah, strong tackle there from Zandy on Lamb. Just catching his shin.
Yellow cards are brought to you by Diversis Health. Here's the challenge. So Zandy into the referee's book. Again, Diversis Health, yellow card. Mental health and well-being for all. Remember to take a moment to breathe. Coming down on 20 minutes to play. That's going to be headed out of play by Chata. And the Switchbacks are going to get a Pepsi corner on the far side. Pepsi, that's what I like. And Aiden Rocha will trot over. Maybe starting to realize now why Justin Dillon's in the game. For moments just like this.
Swinging corner coming here from Rocha.
Switchbacks have not led tonight. Rocha from the corner. Ooh, it was towards Dillon. Punched away by Shuttler. Zandy's header. He's going to be collected. You can see why Justin Dillon is the target. James Chambers to bring in. Does have 2 goals for the Switchbacks since coming over from El Paso Locomotive earlier in the season. 5 goals in total between Locomotive and Switchbacks play this season for Dillon in the regular season. Meanwhile, Jamison too firm with his touch. It's a bit of a wasted opportunity for Orange County.
Good intent there from Jamison. Just ran out a little bit of real estate there. He did beat the defender, but unfortunately the ball was too far ahead of him and runs out of play. But just showing the potential that he has when he gets himself in 1v1 situations. That change of speed there is extremely dangerous. Gets himself 3 or 4 yards there, but just the little drop of the shoulder, step over, driving the ball at his feet.
Tejada trying to put the pressure on Dogman. Tejada continues to force the issue. Dogman, he's gonna win a goal kick. It works out for Orange County in the end.
Good tenacity there from Tejada, putting Dogman under pressure. Does well not to give away a free kick, but Dogman just stays calm and composed and uses Tejada's own body to win himself back a goal kick.
Colin Shuttler, who's had a marvelous season for Orange County, actually leads the league with 103 saves. And he's 3rd with 13 clean sheets and became the 3rd goalkeeper ever to score a goal in the run of play for a USL Championship club in the league's history. It was a late equalizer very early in the season at Sac Republic.
Every top team needs a big goalkeeper, both in presence, ability, who can count and rely on. But I will say if you leave the league in saves, then your back 4 or your defense probably hasn't been protecting you very well, because you've had to be making a lot more saves than you would have liked over the course of the year. So I think him leading the league in saves is kind of indicative of the season that Orange County have had. But he's still been able to come up big in at moments and essentially do what he's there to do, to keep the ball out of the back of the net.
Might have been time for Chata to take on a shot there. He elected to pass and ended up giving the ball away. We're starting to get towards the really important minutes now. 17 minutes of normal time left. And again, we will go to extra time if we need to.
This is the phase of the game where fatigue starts to kick in, habits, discipline starts to kick in, players stop tracking their runners, they lose a little bit of focus and concentration, and this is where the leadership comes in. Is you need the leaders out there galvanizing the team, keeping them focused, keeping them organizing, keeping them disciplined in these moments in the last stages of the game where players do start to get fatigued. Not just the latter phases of this game, it's a long season. And over the course of a long season, all of this starts to come into play in these phases because these games are a little bit more emotionally tense. It takes a little bit more out of your body psychologically. So it's important that the leaders are out there keeping their teams focused and concentrating together.
Challenge there from Quincy Hewerman is deemed to be a foul. Kasipli takes it quickly. Orange County move it ahead quickly. Players still down. Orange County do not have to stop the play if they don't want to. Chata is the player writhing in pain at the moment.
It's their own player, so they're choosing to attack with a man down. If it's not a head injury, the referee is not obligated to stop the game, so finally.
And now to your point, with a man down, Orange County will have the medical staff assess Chata's injury situation.
Because while Orange County could have still possessed the ball and tried to create, if they lost possession, they're now defending with a man down, so they have to weigh up the risk versus the reward. If they really felt like they were going to score, by all means go ahead, but they were kind of needlessly possessing the ball and passing. At any moment they could lose it and be defending a man down, so it's probably smarter in that situation to put the ball out of play, get everybody back up on their feet and healthy again.
It's another injury stoppage brought to you by Common Spirit. And actually now Zach Zandy, a little bit of a problem potentially for him. Look at his right leg. We told you earlier the injury history of his recent career. Scored a wonderful goal earlier, had a smile on his face as he was being stretched out off camera. So hopefully just as a thing where Zandy needs him. We just said, I'm good.
I'm sure neither of these coaches want the extra 30 minutes of extra time because of the toll that it takes on the players' bodies. However, it's the playoffs. They got to do what they got to do to win. At the end of the night, they want to be in the draw for the next round. So
I can think of one team that wouldn't mind if this one went to extra time. Dennis Sanchez, if you're watching. I don't think Vegas would mind too much. Looks like Christian Sorto is being prepared for Danny Stone in Orange County here. We'll wait to see who the player is who's going to come off. It doesn't look like it's going to be Chata, although he's not been welcomed back onto the field yet. It's a Switchbacks throw-in. And they'll do the sporting thing, and they'll kick it back to Orange County to reset the play. We'll get confirmation on what Danny Stone is going to do in just a moment. Chata is back on. This is floated over the top. It's headed down kindly for Cameron Dunbar. And Dunbar couldn't take the ball with him. It's well recovered by Rocha for a moment. He was on his backside. And now it looks like Christian Sorto is going to come on, and it looks like he'll take the place of Chris Hagart. It's the first Orange County substitution of the night.
Yeah, it's been a fairly quiet night for Hagart. Be interested to see if Sorto can come on and add something a little bit more in the attacking third for Orange County.
Christian Sorto was another player who dealt with different injuries throughout the season and missed time. And he was able to finally get back into the fold. It was a sight for sore eyes around Orange County and their supporters. And now he's on here for maybe the most important minutes of the season. It's another William J. Hibble Sports Medicine and Performance Center change. Learn more at hibblecenter.org. Remember, former Colorado Springs Switchback Thomas Among is also on the bench for Orange County tonight. He's had his own injury problems, but made an impact down the stretch to help Orange County get back to the playoffs. Lacroix intercepts the ball in behind looking for Lamb. Colorado Springs will clear. And it's great hold-up play by Justin Dillon. Tyreek McGee out to the far side. Quincy Hewerman to the arriving Rocha, just over the head of Dillon.
Errant pass there from Rocha, but you can see the presence that Dillon brings. Crosses into the box, corner kicks into the box, anything aerially, he's going to be a tremendous threat with his size and his presence.
Well, meanwhile, Colorado Springs is going to make another change. Tyreek McGee is going to come out. And Cole Maraca, who almost scored a wonder strike in the last round against Oakland, is going to be the man to take his place. It's another William J. Hibble Sports Medicine and Performance Center change. And by the way, and there's still 11 minutes left, but James Chambers only has one substitution remaining in the 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's either madness or magic. James Chambers right now, you're looking at Damas is out, Enriquez is out, Hanya is out, McGee is now out. Possibly your best attacking players are not going into the last 10 minutes of this game when you need a goal, and potentially an additional 30 minutes of additional time that could be coming.
That might be the scary part. If the Switchbacks have to play 30 minutes of extra time, most of their best scorers are not out there.
And they're three of the better players who have that individual ability, who can create a goal-scoring opportunity from nothing. They have that individual capability, and they're no longer going to be part of this game. So it's going to be interesting to see who Colorado Springs now rely on to provide that creativity and have the ability to convert those chances and get that go-ahead goal. Also for penalty kicks, you'd envision a couple of those names that are no longer in the field would have been your penalty kick takers also, specifically Damas.
Dunbar, it falls kindly to him. Blocked by Speedy Williams. Follow up by Chata to keep it alive. Oh, and then the referee stops the play. There's a word with Cameron Dunbar here. Well, it appears it's going to go against Orange County. It's going to be a free kick for the Switchbacks. Might have been something we missed there. Cameron Dunbar's reaction tells, well, at least part of another very odd tale in this game.
Yeah, I think the referee was probably able to articulate why he was giving the free kick to Dunbar, which probably quelled any frustrations. Sometimes in those situations when the players are uncertain, that's when they're a little bit more frustrated, given that the referee was very close to the situation and able to speak calmly with the players. I think that often keeps the temperature of the circumstance very low.
9 minutes left of normal time. Of course, there'll be some stoppage time on the back end. The winner punches a ticket to the Western Conference Final against the Las Vegas Lights.
For one of these teams at the end of tonight, it's going to be lights out.
I see what you did there.
Your lights are obviously on then.
The Cashman Field lights will be on. If Orange County wins, we'll go to Vegas for the Western Conference Final. If not, Widener Field will play host to a Western Conference Final for the very first time. Here's Quincy Hewerman. Hewerman into the middle. Nakeem is there. Only as far as Real. Real back across. Chata is able to clear. Nakeem and Chata with some critical interventions. Lacroix for Speedy Williams. Getting closer and closer to next goal wins territory here. Again, if not, we'll have two 15-minute periods of extra time and then potentially penalties to decide it.
You can see this game being decided by one moment of brilliance, similar to the free kick for Charleston earlier today, or it's going to be decided by a very poor mistake, similar to our opening goal for Orange County.
Dillon, overzealous. It's a free kick. More good defensive work from Ryan Dogman on this near side.
He's definitely the underdog in this battle, probably almost half the size of Dillon, but does a good job of being tenacious, using his body, not diving in.
I beg your pardon, it was Chata who ended up doing the dirty work there. Not to take anything away from Ryan Dogman's night. Him, along with the rest of this Orange County defense, have held up their end of the bargain. But can they find a late winner? These are the moments where a player, maybe likely or unlikely, could put himself in club folklore, in league folklore.
You can see both teams taking a little bit less risk than they were earlier in the game. Going into the final stages, a little bit more defensive-minded, trying not to give too much up. When you're searching for the goal, generally you give away a little bit more space, but both teams being a little bit more cautious now in these final 10 minutes of the game.
Dogman. Orange County haven't had too many of these moments where they pin the Switchbacks well back in their own third. Chata. Jameson spoons it out of danger for Lamb. Jameson doubled, but is able to elude the pressure. Ashish Chata. Gets it back from Jameson, coming down on the final 5 minutes plus stoppage time.
It's been 85 minutes since we've actually seen this type of possession dominance from Orange County.
Oh, that's a miscue from Kasipli. Referee tried to see if advantage would accrue. It did not. That's going to be a yellow card for Seth Kasipli. And a free kick for the Switchbacks.
It's a dodgy touch there from Kasipli. Turned some good possession into a 50-50 tackle to Hayder.
Looked like there was a ton of contact, but enough, in the opinion of the referee. And here comes an Orange County substitution after that Diversus Health yellow card came out. It's going to be another William J. Hibble Sports Medicine and Performance Center change. The goal scorer, Ethan Zubak, is out. And the former Switchback, Thomas Among, returns to Widener Field to try and be a hero for the visitors. This time, that leaves Danny Stone with still 3 changes he can make. Dylan with the header, it's helped along, but not cleared. Hewerman. Quincy Hewerman trying to elude Jameson. Real's ball in. Put it away by Powers. Chopped down by Rocha. Sorto heaves the ball upfield looking for Among. Mahoney is there. 4 minutes left of the 90. Brought forward by Lacroix. Zandy. Hewerman's pass is off the mark. And now Orange County have a chance to break. It's a 3-on-3. Dunbar up ahead. Bryce Jameson's in. Bryce Jameson's beaten to it by Christian Herrera. How important could that one turn out to be?
Brilliant goalkeeping there for Herrera, because Jameson had the beating of Lacroix in behind. The ball slid in behind the defense and Jameson was at full speed. Lacroix was struggling to keep up. Herrera just timed it to perfection, coming off his line and cleaning that up. Dunbar with an excellent pass in behind it. Just maybe slightly weighted too hard. Jameson couldn't reach there, but Jameson has come to life a little bit in this last 15 minutes on the right-hand side of the field for Orange County.
Another moment where Herrera makes amends. The earlier mistake back at the beginning of the match. Now there's time and space here for Orange County again. Among out wide for Jameson. Jameson back across. Touched away by Mahoney and cleared by Cole Maraca, but only as far as Powers.
Jameson just lacking that quality in that final pass there to Amang. Both teams giving the ball up needlessly on a number of occasions right now.
Tejada. After the giveaway by Orange County.
You can see where the energy is dying when they're attacking players a little bit lethargic to get forward. Taking a little bit.
Oh, it's Quincy Hewerman, who nearly won the match. He's only scored once all season. He nearly scored one of the best goals, I should say, of the playoffs.
You could see from the reaction of the goalkeeper this wasn't far away, but Herman takes the ball into his left foot, then takes it onto his right foot, tries to bend it into the far corner. The benefit of a player who can play with both feet. Lamb tries to show him his right foot, and he puts it onto his right foot and gets the shot off. A player who doesn't have the ability to both feet wouldn't use the option.
Well, based on Quincy Huerman's reaction, I think he thought that had a real chance of going in. Ends up being a whisker wide. It's going to be a free kick going Colorado Springs way, and we're about to enter the 90th minute. A date with Vegas in the Western Conference Final is at stake. You can cut the tension inside a Widener field with a knife. That ball is going to go well out of play, looking for Tejada. It goes back to Orange County. And we wait to see how much stoppage time there's going to be before we possibly jump into extra time. Once again, these fans at Widener Field have done a marvelous job providing another great playoff home field advantage for the Switchbacks. That's why it was so important down the stretch for James Chambers and his side to get a top seed. Again, if they pull through, they're going to host at least through to the Western Conference Final.
5 minutes of stoppage time. Still plenty of time for another goal-scoring opportunity for either of the teams.
Yep, 5 minutes is confirmed. It's brought to you by the TikTok Shop. 5 minutes for a hero to emerge at Widener Field tonight. And we'll have half an hour more to play. Huerman trying to impede Powers. Powers gives the ball away, but it falls kindly for Chata. Here's Owen Lamb for Orange County. When Dogman appreciated the effort, but he's not able to keep that in play. It goes back to the Switchbacks.
Quality's dipped a little bit for both of these teams in the last 5 minutes. Choices in passes, players' legs a little bit heavy, so they're not making those runs in behind as energetically or as well timed as they were earlier in the game.
Nice ball around the corner there from Maraca. Zach Zandy up ahead. Matt Real, can he find someone? He looks for Tejada, who was not able to track it down.
So it's a low percentage cross. It's delivered from an area where it's very hard for the striker to finish first time from that type of delivery.
Orange County thought they should have had the throw in there. They didn't get the decision. They now have to get back and defend as the Switchbacks move it forward through Zandy.
Yeah, there's 4 minutes left in the game. Among can't be concerned there with whether he got the throw in or not. He's got to get better position and defend for his team.
Mahoney. Rocha. Mahoney. Maraca. Maraca sliding it through, was touched away. Orange County are able to clear it. Among on the turn, Lacroix has to try to battle him off. Among stays with it and wins a free kick.
Among just doing a good job of using his strength to protect the ball in that situation.
Well, he was actually being held by the legs of Lacroix. And again, Dogman not able to get on top of that ball into this near side. Christian Herrera is trying to get the crowd back onto their feet. There's still 2.5 minutes for someone to snatch a late winner and snatch a place into the Western Conference Final. Rocha up ahead, Cole Maraca. He's blocked by Chata. There were some faint handball appeals, but referee didn't give them much of a thought. 2 minutes to play. Speedy Williams leads the charge.
Orange County just pumping the ball back to Colorado Springs so they can mount their attack again rather than trying to sustain possession and build their own attack.
Huerman had a chance earlier. Takes a wicked deflection. Dogman is there to head it away. Sorto helps it along. Switchbacks replenish the play. Rocha. Huerman nearly found Tejada, and if he'd spun through, he would have been free.
Ping-pong in and around the edge of the box there.
Orange County look to break up the other end with Dunbar. Sorto as Maraca falls down. Then another collision off the ball between Tejada and Dunbar. As the ball goes out of play, referee ignores all of it, gives the Switchbacks a throw. Chaotic moments down the stretch here.
To say the least, a little bit of chaos in these closing minutes of the game.
We're now into the closing seconds. 1 minute to find some late glory. Tejada not able to get up to it. Sorto. Among holds up the play. And then Sorto gives the ball away to Huerman. Still time for the Switchbacks to come up with one more chance. Speedy Williams for Matt Mahoney. 30 seconds left. Near side Rocha. Rocha across, headed high into the air. Zandy on the turn, can't control it. Orange County will clear. And it'll be a Switchbacks throw with just over 10 seconds until extra time.
Some very heavy legs out on that field right now. We could be approaching 30 minutes to go, and there's some players out there look like they can no longer move.
Headed high into the air, Tejada can't get it. Dogman will shepherd it back to Shuttler, and 95 minutes at Widener Field is not enough. We are going to extra time here in Colorado Springs to decide who's advancing to the Western Conference Final. My goodness, both of the goals came very early. Zubak in the 4th minute for Orange County. The Switchbacks responded through that man, Zach Zandy, to make it 1-1. After that, no one was able to find a moment. And now we'll have 30 more minutes to see if anyone can snatch it in extra time. It's been a game that's provided plenty of drama and plenty of twists and turns. Well, the good news is there's more to come. 1-1 at Widener Field. Extra time in the USL Championship playoffs is next.
Injured in a crash? Get McDivitt and you get a firm dedicated to every single detail of your case.
We have the knowledge and resources to investigate the crash and your insurance company's small print.
Details matter. That's why we dive deep into every aspect of your case. This gives us the firepower we need to make the insurance company pay you the money you deserve.
We never ask you to pay a penny until we get you max money for your injuries.
Online at McDivittLaw.com.
McDivitt.
Natural gas ensures that when you need to heat things up, you can, but it can also be hazardous. That's why, in the event of a natural gas leak, you need to know the 3 S's. The first one, sound. Listen for the sound of hissing or whistling. Number 2, sight. Look for dead or discolored vegetation in an otherwise green area. And number 3, smell. It's hard to miss. Be on the lookout for a pungent odor like rotten eggs. If you notice any of these signs, leave the area immediately and call 911. For more information, go to csu.org.
The moment you call McDivitt, an action plan is put into place right away to get you the help you need.
Each case and each client is different, with different needs and solutions. Your attorney and team immediately investigates every aspect of your crash and injuries.
We track down all the paperwork and deal directly with the insurance company for you.
We keep you in the loop every step of the way, fighting to get you max money for your injuries.
And you never pay us a dime until we get money for you.
McDivitt.
Back here in Colorado Springs, Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse, our entire crew, hungry for more. These two, Colorado Springs and Orange County, head into extra time in the USL Championship playoffs with a place in the Western Conference Final up for grabs against Las Vegas Lights. Have a chance before extra time begins, of course, to dive in to the rules of extra time as Danny Stone and company talk through their final instructions. Again, we talked about it earlier, 2 15-minute extra time periods. We're gonna play through those no matter what the score line is. There's no golden goal. And if it's tied after extra time, we will head to a penalty kick shootout, Chris.
Yep, as we spoke about, a lot of tired legs on that field right now. There's going to be a combination of mental strength, organization, discipline, and it's going to take one moment of magic to win this game for either of them. It seems, we're going to be heading to PKs, but as we spoke about, it's been a long season. It's been a long game. Now it's about having the quality and composure to finish this off, and it's going to take having possession. If it's end-to-end, the players are going to run out of energy and extremely quickly. It's about possessing and creating the moment that's going to make the difference in this game and unlocking the opponents.
Going to be interesting as well. Danny Stone still has a few substitutions to play with. To be fair, so does James Chambers, but fewer options because of how many changes the Switchbacks made during normal time. 4 of them. In fact, Danny Stone only made 2 changes, so he still has the likes of Ben Barjolo and Ashton Miles, Ben Norris, and Charlie Asensio available. James Chambers is pretty much down to his last 2 outfield players. Delence Pierre, who's a defender, and Steven Echeverria, who hasn't really been as part of the fold at times this season for Colorado Springs. The real part of that I should highlight, there's no more goal scorers for James Chambers to turn to. What's out there is what he's got to work with. Danny Stone has a couple of attacking pieces. Really the notable one is Ben Barjolo if it gets to that point.
Yeah, as we spoke about, Colorado Switchbacks are going to go into this last 30 minutes of play without Hanya, McGee, Damas, and Enriquez, and these are probably your key attacking players that you have in probably your penalty takers, number 1, your creators, and your goal scorers. So it's going to be interesting to see who's able to step up and fill that void going into extra time right now.
Orange County, of course, had to go to extra time last year against Phoenix. They had their hearts broken by Emil Cuejo deep into extra time. Chris, we were actually on that game last season. Phoenix prevailed in Irvine. Colorado Springs, the last time they were in extra time at home, they prevailed by 2-1 over Sac Republic a couple of years ago. That actually punched their ticket at the time to a Western Conference final. They did end up losing that Western Conference final to the eventual champions San Antonio. That was 2 years ago. Again, we'll play through both periods of extra time here. We'll see if one of these 2 teams can prevail. If not, we go to the spot. Here's Hewerman. First attack forward for Colorado Springs. It's going to be shanked out of play. It's a throw-in for the Switchbacks. Nakim sends it out of play. Hewerman to take the throw.
Yeah, I'm sure they would prefer to defend the short throw-in rather than a corner kick that could be delivered to Dylan in the box. It'll be interesting to see who takes responsibility for marking Dylan man-to-man from any set-piece deliveries.
Of course, how important are Zach Zandy and Speedy Williams going to be in extra time as Dylan, gets his head on it. In the end, it loops out of play.
Ball was just a little bit behind him. Done well to adjust himself and try and guide it towards goal, but always sailing over the crossbar. Shuttler wasn't too worried at all about that effort. But he is a big target in the box, Dylan, and when provided with the right service, you can imagine the threat that he can pose.
Should mention as well, of course, we talked about how it's now back-to-back Western Conference semifinals where Orange County have gone to extra time. It's now back-to-back playoff games for Orange County where they've had to go to extra time. You wonder if that's going to weigh on Danny Stone's side as we dive into these 30 minutes.
Yeah, I think it's finding a way to win by any means necessary, and if that means they got to go into additional time and grind and grit their way to getting the points, they've got to do what they got to do. And the good thing is that they're still in it right now. We could be at 90 minutes and could be over, done and dusted. So I think they may actually value these additional 30 minutes right now, especially given some of the changes that Colorado Springs have made. There's probably a little bit of optimism inside of them.
Now Kim is pressured by Huerman. It's going to lead to a turnover. Huerman back to Real. It's Juan Tejada. Just behind Cole Maraca. Maraca has 2 men on him trying to reset the play, and he finds Aiden Rocha.
Just the quality in the passing killed the momentum for Colorado Springs. 2 of those passes went behind players who were sprinting forward at full speed and just completely took the momentum out of the attack.
Giveaway by Speedy Williams. Dunbar surging forward here for Orange County. Tries to play in Sorto. It's going to skip past him. That's the 3rd straight pass onto this near side for Orange County that they've not been able to make. Couple with Dogman and now Sorto. Not able to be found. Chata is dispossessed, but Dylan Powers is there to help. Now Kim, forward thinking at times in the second half. Jamison had Orange County's biggest chance of the second half, was played in behind, but beaten to it by Christian Herrera. Sorto, up ahead for Dogman. Dogman's ball into the middle, and it goes over everyone's head. Among was making a brilliant run, but it was nowhere near him.
You can see it as the fatigue's kicked in, the quality in possession of the ball and in the final moments has dropped drastically. This is where the games are lost and won. It's just moments of concentration and the quality that really makes the difference in key moments in the game.
Bit of a coming together there, and Huerman, my goodness, nearly gave it right to Sorto. Ball up ahead looking for Tejada, and it's a great recovery by Ryan Dogman. Shuttler clears.
Good defending there from Dogman, the 95th minute of the game. Still has the energy to make those runs. Stifling out any offensive opportunities there for Colorado Springs on the counter-attack.
Williams for Mahoney. Matt Mahoney and Christian Herrera haven't missed a minute in this USL Championship season for the Switchbacks. It's going to be sent upfield. Among ends up winning the battle there over Lacroix. Chata trying to surge ahead. Among has to stay on side. Looks like he has. It's threaded in behind. Goalkeeper stays. Mahoney does the job and forces the shot to go into the side netting from Among. Critical defending.
They've had some success with these balls in behind here. I think it's Chatu who plays this one behind for Among. I thought Herrera would have come out right now and claimed this, but he stays on his line. The angle gets too tight for Among to get that shot off on target. But you can see with the cracks in the Colorado Springs defense and where they can be exploited, whether that's been Jamison making runs in behind or on that occasion it's Among.
Now Kim handles the situation for Orange County. Again, we'll play to the 105th minute. There could be some stoppage time there. Then we'll have a brief break between the 2 extra time periods. Then we'll play to the 120th minute. As that was a critical intervention from Nick Kim. He's frustrated. Really got put in a sticky situation there. Kasipli leads the charge. Gets it back from Lamb. Not quite on the same page with Bryce Jamison, who still wins a throw-in despite the sliding challenge from Matt Real. Powers was the hero in the conference quarterfinal. He had some space there. I know he's maybe not the best striker of the ball. Thought about it for a moment. Lamb, meanwhile, gets it right into Real. Tejada settles the situation for the Switchbacks.
was wondering the same thing there when Powers went on that little dribble there.
A touch of class there from Quincy Huerman.
Giving the fans a little bit of excitement there, something to cheer about.
Good switch of play by Speedy Williams. Tejada is the hero on the last day of the regular season. Finds Cole Maraca. Maraca for Dylan. Back to Maraca. Touched away by Powers. Now Among dispossessed. Zandy for Quincy Huerman. Saved by Shuttler. Out for a corner.
It's a great strike there from Huerman on his left foot. Earlier in the game, he tried to bend one into the corner on his right foot. Tenacious here in the middle apart from LaCroix to win back possession of the ball. Flick around the corner from Zandy. Huerman just lets rip on the volley. It's a big save there from Shuttler. Great effort there from Huerman.
Well, Huerman's done a wonderful job creating moments for the Switchbacks. Looks like it's going to be a Pepsi corner. Pepsi, that's what I like. Another chance for Colorado Springs to jump out in front. Rocha to take. It's a high arcer. Dylan was held and is able to just about keep it in play for the Switchbacks here. Tries to cross it back into the middle. Oh, handball appeals come in from the Switchbacks players. Referee immediately waves them away. And Dylan Powers gets the ball away, but it's given back by Sorto.
Sorto's struggled tremendously since he's come into the game. He's given away a number of passes, straightforward passes that he should be able to keep possession of.
One back by Huerman. It's Justin Dillon, blocked. It's Juan Tejada on the follow-up. But there was nobody there to get on the end of it. It's an Orange County throw. Another close call for Colorado Springs.
Huerman's on the floor here, convinced he should have had a penalty kick. Dillon with the turn tries to get his shot off, but Powers closes him down. Tejada does well to keep play alive, and anybody just staying focused and connected with the play, making a run at the back post there would have had a tap in. Unfortunately, nobody in that area.
Five minutes left in the first period of extra time. You're starting to see some really tired players out there giving everything they've got left in the tank. Lamb's throw-in will get the ball back in play. Nearly gave it away, and now it is given away to Lacroix. Mahoney for Speedy Williams. Williams to the near side, Rocha for Tejada. Tejada with two on him, will settle for the throw. Finds Rocha. Zandy was actually making a run into the penalty area, trying to catch everyone out. Mahoney. Real for Quincy Huerman. He's been the most likely maybe for the Switchbacks.
Yeah, he's come to life. He's had a couple of opportunities himself. He has had some good moments, some nice touches. Showing some nice moments of skill and flair also, Huerman.
Oh, it's headed down. Tejada, will he get there? Not quite. Shuttler bailed out by Nakim, and maybe a firm touch by Tejada. It's almost a replay of the Zubac goal from the first half of normal time. How close was that? And now Cole Maraca brings it forward. Zandy. Is Zandy brought down? Yes, it's a free kick. Goodness gracious.
Tejada does ever so well here to just chase this ball down. Had Dylan been on the same page as him, the rebound was there to be tapped into the back of the net, but just a little bit slow to react. It's Real with the diagonal pass here. Dogman tries to head it back, and Tejada does ever so well to get his toenail onto the ball before it goes into Shuttler's hands. Dylan just a little bit slow to react to the ball when it pops out, and cleared away from danger in the end.
And now Chata dealing with a bit of an issue. There's multiple players on both sides, hands on hips or hands on knees right now. It has been a battle.
think both teams there just respecting the hustle from each other. They know how challenging this is in the extra time, in the final phases of these games. Both teams are exhausted, giving it everything that they've got.
It's an underline free kick for the Colorado Springs Switchbacks here. Rocha and Williams.
Gas tanks on empty for both of these teams, just finding a way to keep plugging away, keep going.
Rocha's ball in. He's going to go right to Colin Shuttler with 2 minutes left of the first period of extra time. Could have some stoppage time on the back end of that. We'll wait and see. Couple of really close calls for the Switchbacks in this first extra time period. Winner plays Vegas for a chance to go to the final. Nakim. First time ball up ahead by Among is cut out by Lacroix. Powers to reset. Near side, Dogman. I think Orange County just need a chance to catch their breath. Getting the ball at their feet will help to do that. Talked about it earlier, it was 48 degrees at kickoff. It's going to get down close to 39 as the night continues. So it's just going to get colder and colder for both of these sides. Kisipli up ahead. A reset for Rocha from Mahoney. Rocha trying to find Juan Tejada, who's going to get on the end of this. Tejada cuts to the byline. Ball across. He's touched into the air by Powers.
Good defending there from Powers. Just positioned well to deal with the cross. Cheap free kick to give away. That's poor defending there.
There was a chance the ball was going to go out of play. And to your point, Orange County hand a set piece to Colorado Springs on a silver platter.
He's facing the touchline. There's no threat or danger there whatsoever. There's no need to give away a free kick. He just pushes him in the back with both hands. Makes an easy decision for the referee, and now they're defending a dangerous set piece at the end of the first half of extra time.
Another underline free kick opportunity for Colorado Springs. Underline.com/COS to find out more. Quincy Huerman, can he find somebody for the Switchbacks here?
In swinging left foot delivery.
Huerman's ball in. Ooh, was headed high into the air by Chata. Dillon! It was touched away. Only as far as Cole Maraca, and it's deflected in! Zach Zandy with the finishing touch! It could be the goal that sends the Switchbacks back to the Western Conference Final. It's a Zach Zandy brace, and it's pandemonium at Widener Field in extra time.
How frustrated are you if you're Orange County right now? We spoke about the needless free kick given away. No reason. There's no danger. Tejada is in absolutely no dangerous position. You give away a dangerous free kick. You're having to defend it. Ball pops up at the edge of the box. This isn't the greatest strike, but Zandy's just in the right area at the right time and just guides it on frame with his first touch, similar to his first goal, into the back of the net. If you're Orange County, you're absolutely fuming right now that you gave away that initial free kick that led to this goal-ahead goal for Colorado Springs.
What a lovely little flick. He's been part of some wonderful teams with this Colorado Springs Switchback side. And Zach Zandy, after a horrid 2023, could be a hero for the Switchbacks in 2024. That'll end the first period of extra time, and the Switchbacks have 15 more minutes to try to finish the job.
You can only imagine the emotions, the conversations that Orange County are having right now, but this is where we talk about experience, being able to manage emotions, decision-making, keeping possession of the ball. How many times in this last 50 minutes have Orange County given away the ball needlessly with poor passing, Now you're giving away free kicks with poor decision making. You're putting yourselves in situations where you're putting yourselves under pressure. They've done tremendously well so far, but there's little moments in the game that have let them down massively. And now you're having to dig deep in the remaining 15 minutes now to get back level pegging. It's going to be a big task, a very hard task coming. I can see Chambers now having his team lock it down. Players behind the ball, only going forward on counter-attacks. 15 minutes of excitement left to play.
Let's look back at the first 15 minutes of extra time. This was one of the few chances that Orange County really had. There was a Mong into the side netting, and then the Switchbacks just kept creating.
Foreman with that left-footed volley that Shuttler tips over the crossbar. He's been important for them in his final stages of this game. See, he came up with the key moment, delivering that first ball into the box from the corner. But the pressure has been on again from Colorado Springs, putting Orange County under pressure. And Tejada here, tenacious, does well to chase this down. A ball that was coming to nothing, and this is the go-ahead goal. Dying moments of the first half of extra time. Zandy with a cheeky flick. 2-1 Colorado Springs. 15 minutes left to play.
You could just see what it means to him. After all he's been through, he's got both goals tonight for the Switchbacks. That huge goal in the 10th minute after Orange County got the huge start and looked like they were going to get some early momentum. He quelled that. And on top of that, I should mention, both of his finishes have been of the highest quality as well.
And they've both been one-touch finishes, something that coaches focus on a lot inside the box is one-touch finishes, and Zandy has been an optimal display of that tonight.
And we're told that before the second period of extra time begins, that man, the Academy product, Ben Norris, has come on for Orange County. He replaces Ashish Chata. So Danny Stone making an alteration. Orange County are going to have to be much more aggressive than they were in the first period of extra time. Down by 2-1. And can Zach Zandy and the Switchbacks get back to a Western Conference final for the second time in 3 seasons? 15 more minutes to find out.
For Orange County, there's no holding back now. They've got 15 minutes to throw everything, including the kitchen sink at Colorado Springs, to try and get themselves back into this game.
Zach Zandy had 4 regular season goals this season for Colorado Springs. He has both of their goals tonight. Can Orange County find a way back? First chance, the second period of extra time is held on to by Herrera.
And this is exactly what you expect. That straightforward cross for Herrera, he catches it, goes down to the ground, lets a couple of seconds tick off the clock. And this is where somebody from Orange County in those moments has got to get close to the referee. He's got 6 seconds to release that ball. He's taken almost 15 seconds right now to release the ball. So somebody's got to get close to the referee and keep saying it till he holds them accountable, gives a free kick, and maybe gives them an opportunity to get back in this game. These are the little parts of the nuances in the game that players have to use to their advantage. Otherwise, Colorado Springs are going to use every moment they can to tick as much seconds off the clock as possible.
$14 minutes for Orange County to save their season here at Widener Field. Ball goes out to the far side. Here's Cameron Dunbar. Still Dunbar, gets around Zandy. Tries to thread the needle. Sorto wasn't on the same page. Dunbar was telling him he was trying to get it to Jameson.
Just the final pass in key moments has let Orange County down. Some good play there from Dunbar, driving forward into space. You can see the threat he plays. When there's space and he's driving forward, the Colorado Springs defenders are just backing off, getting deeper and deeper. But then it's somebody making that run forward, or somebody with the ability to hold the ball up, that's lacking right now.
Sent ahead by Maraca. Ends up getting the assist on the Zandy goal in extra time. And it's lovely work that's appreciated by the Switchbacks fans, by Tejada, to keep the home side in possession.
Yeah, and I think that's something Tejada has displayed. He doesn't give up on anything. Even if the ball's not in his favor, he continues chasing. And there's been on a few occasions, just because of that mentality approach he's taking, he's able to win the ball back for his team. And again, here wins a free kick for his teammate.
Ooh, the referee is saying that Dylan Powers followed through on Tejada. He's incensed. He's also been booked.
This is the attitude that you're asking for players to bring when they're coming off the bench to add to the team. And Tejada's come in with excellent attitude since he's coming off the bench, just chasing down everything, putting under pressure, working as hard as he can. I think that's the minimum that coaches ask for when players coming off the bench, and Tejado's been able to add to his team and bring energy and help his team because he's brought that mentality and that attitude when he's come onto the field.
It's a diverse health yellow card for Powers. And it looks like that is going to be the end of the night for Zach Zandy, who's going to get a heck of a roar from the Widener Field crowd. Scored both of the goals tonight. He's out. Steven Echeverria is in. We look back on Zach Zandy's contributions tonight.
First time finish into the bottom corner, and here just in a dangerous position, in the right place at the right time. Little cheeky flick with the outside of his right foot into the back of the net. Beats Shuttler and gives his team the go-ahead goal. They're leading 2-1 with less than 10 minutes remaining in extra time.
Could be the goal that sends the Switchbacks to the Western Conference Final. It's going to be a free kick for Orange County. Meanwhile, Tejada that time. And Steven Echeverria, who just has not had as many appearances this season as you've come to expect from him in a Switchbacks kit over the years. Just his 13th appearance of the entire season tonight. He had 28 last season and 33 the year before. He just hasn't quite been able to get in the lineup as much for multiple reasons. Injuries have been a big part of that, and well, he has a chance here to help Colorado Springs get this over the line. But here's Christian Sorto, and it pinballs around into Herrera's waiting arms.
Great opportunity there for Sorto to get himself on the score sheet and level things up. I think it's Dunbar who plays the ball in behind. He just needs to get a good first touch in and release with his left foot, and he's just unable to touch and release quick enough. I think it's Raul who does a good job in the end of blocking the shot.
It's a huge intervention for the Switchbacks.
We said with the substitutions for James Chambers, it was either going to be madness or it was going to be magic. Starting to look like a little bit of magic.
We talked about with all those players that were substituted out, Damas and Hanya and McGee and Enriquez, that it might come down to whether Zandy and Williams could make an impact. Well, Zach Zandy made the impact. 10 minutes to go in extra time, period number 2. This ball's clipped in, looking for Bryce Jamieson. Instead, Quincy Huerman will get there and clear it for the Switchbacks. Only as far as Powers. Kasipley for Owen Lamb. Lamb's first time ball in, blocked. A bit of a slip on the back end there.
It does seem that the surface has got a little bit slippy as the night's gone on.
Ooh, a chance here for Dylan. Goalkeeper's out! Oh! And Dylan saw the headlines. He volleyed it from about 40 yards out, but he completely skewers it.
Yeah, you had to know what's in your locker there.
Well, if he had scored, he would have been a hero. In the end, he gives it back. Meanwhile, Orange County are going to make a couple more changes here. We're told Kasipley and Jamieson are going to come out. Charlie Asensio and Ben Bargiolo are both going to come on here for the final 9 minutes plus. Charlie Asensio, just his 3rd appearance of the season for Orange County. Played with Austin FC's organization last year, mostly in MLS Next Pro. And Ben Bargiolo, he's had some moments in his Orange County career, but just his 8th appearance. Could he come on and save Orange County's campaign? He helps out here. It's going to be a T. Rowe Price corner. Invest with confidence and some defending to do again for the Switchbacks.
I'm glad Orange County finally played the ball forward. There's 8 minutes left in the game. They're down 2-1 in the playoffs. Passing the ball sideways and backwards is not going to get you the go-ahead goal. You've got to put this Colorado Springs defense under pressure. You've got to get the ball as forward as often as possible, and you probably need to divert and be a little bit more direct in your approach in play.
Sorto's ball in is headed away by Mahoney. Sorto will get a second bite at the apple. A reset for Asensio. Chance to maybe clip this back into the middle, headed away by Williams. Orange County again. Ooh, and Williams may have picked up a head injury here. Referee notices it and rightly stops the play.
As we spoke about, for these final few minutes of this game, Orange County just have to keep putting Colorado Springs defense under pressure, whether they're able to deliver crosses, whether they're able to hit diagonal balls, whether they're able to win the second ball. They've just got to find a way to keep the pressure on this Colorado Springs defense for as many occasions as they can in these final probably 10 minutes, if you had additional time of the game, to get themselves that one opportunity that they could possibly utilize to equalize.
There's the reason that Speedy Williams needed a moment. Looks to be okay, at least for now. Both teams now have used 5 changes. And there is, of course, the potential of an extra time addition to that. So we will see, but for now, Speedy Williams wants to get back out onto the field. And again, you would think the 4th official and our head official, Lorenzo Hernandez, are keeping track of this time for potential added on time.
Williams eager to get back onto field to make sure he can get out there and defend for his team. He knows how important these last couple of minutes are going to be, and his level of experience and focus and determination is so important for this team.
Switchbacks are able to deal with it. Dillon tries to play it up ahead for Speedy Williams. It's going to find him. Williams tries to catch Shuttler off his line. And again, it's a bit wasteful from the Switchbacks.
Yeah, the right idea, just lacking the right execution. Half volley on the instep from the halfway line. I'm not sure.
He may never have had to buy a drink again in Colorado Springs if he got it, but such a low percentage move. Could be a chance here for Bargiolo. And on the turn, it's Among! He was going to go wide anyway, but Herrera wasn't to know that. Saves it out for a corner with 5 minutes left.
Good intent there from Among, just first touch, gets himself on a half touch forward and just tries to get a shot off on target, and Herrera's taking no chances. It's going wide anyway, but by taking no chances, he's allowed Orange County to get themselves a corner kick.
I think in the meantime, that extra time substitution is going to be made here for Colorado Springs. Each team gets an additional sub. Delence Pierre is going to come on for the Switchbacks here. The William J. Hibble Sports Medicine and Performance Center change. And, well, Danny Stone's going to use his as well. Might as well. Ashton Miles is also going to come on. So two, I should say, Hibble Sports Medicine and Performance Center changes before this T. Rowe Price corner. Invest with confidence. Sorto to take. Looks like Cameron Dunbar was sacrificed on the Orange County change. Sorto to put it in. And it's going to come up short. Tejada looked to have been the one who touched it last. Not the case. It goes the Switchbacks' way, and it's a goal kick. Orange County are incensed.
Not the best delivery there from Sorto whatsoever. I'm not sure what he's thinking. The ball doesn't even beat the first man to give any of his teammates a chance to attack.
That's a giveaway to Ben Norris. Orange County's hopes are clinging on these last few minutes. It was Dylan Powers in the 116th minute that won it last round at Memphis. They're gonna need a last-minute equalizer here. Bargiolo is not gonna get on the end of that. It goes back to Colorado Springs. 3 minutes plus stoppage time to go.
Pierre in no rush to get this ball back into play. Just milking the clock as long as he can.
Ooh, it's gonna be a foul. Referee deems to have seen a late challenge there. Again, the Switchbacks are the beneficiaries.
I think we'll see some decent amount of additional time, given that Colorado Springs have tried to play a little bit of sportsmanship, stay down a little bit longer, take a little bit longer, everything. Sure, the referee's adding it all on at the end.
And the Speedy Williams injury time stoppage, or I should say injury stoppage in general, should add on at least a minute or two.
I thought he was about to name the injury time after Speedy Williams there. What is Speedy Williams sponsored injury time he was about to say?
Well, he certainly had his fingerprints on the match, that's for sure. As Hewerman, Pierre down the near touchline, Dillon's flick, but Hewerman's challenge gives Orange County a free kick, and they don't have too much time left.
Some cheap giveaways of possession for both teams in moments when you need to be a little bit more responsible, especially Colorado Springs having the lead and being up in the game when they have possession of the ball. The last thing you want to do is turn it back over to Orange County cheaply and allow them the opportunity to build.
The ball's clipped up ahead. It is headed down. Echeverria is there, but it's only cleared as far as Sorto. Dogman has to take the ball with him. He gets it back, clips it into the middle. Pierre's header and Hewerman's clearance. Not definitively cleared, only as far as Powers. Powers back in, and Herrera makes the catch with 1 minute left of extra time.
Again, we're already at 10 seconds. Herrera's had this ball. 15 seconds. This is where somebody's got to get close to the referee. When you're down in these moments, you have to use every little leverage that you can to try and get yourself the advantage.
If Colorado Springs holds on, they'll go to a second Western Conference final in 3 seasons, and they'll host Las Vegas. Orange County has to score, or their season ends tonight.
They've got to get the ball forward first. Tons of opportunities to put the ball forward here, and they're passing it sideways and backwards, and we spoke about this. Seconds left in the game.
Oh, there's only going to be 1 added minute of extra time, brought to you by the TikTok Shop. I don't think Danny Stone would agree with that amount.
Unless every 10 passes is a goal, I'm not sure why Orange County are not choosing to get this ball forward right now.
Lamb clipping it towards the edge of the penalty area. It's headed down towards Asensio. Bargiolo tries to keep it alive. Skewered clearance. Sorto. Does it deflect out of play? It does. It's a goal kick. And I think now the referee is going to keep an eye on Herrera, but that could be that.
It's frustrating when teams are down and they're just knocking the ball around the back instead of getting it forward and trying to create goal-scoring opportunities. Orange County guilty of that just now. Seconds remaining in the game, and they're connecting passes like it's a training session, and that equates to goals. It doesn't. You've got to get the ball in the box. You've got to put the defense under pressure. You have to create goal-scoring chances in the attacking third.
Fans here at Widener Field begging for the full-time whistle. Herrera sends it ahead. And for the second time in 3 seasons, the Colorado Springs Switchbacks will play for the Western Conference title. Zach Zandy is the hero. He scores both goals and sends Colorado Springs through to a Widener Field Western Conference showdown against Las Vegas.
I think you have to give Orange County credit for how they fought back in the final stage of the season. You have to give them credit of how they fought tonight. But on the night, I think the better team won overall. Colorado Springs Switchbacks played a little bit better, had a little bit more quality. Obviously, were more significant in the moments that matter inside the box, and they advance to the conference final.
What a moment for the Switchbacks organization. What a moment for Zach Zandy. His name is up in lights tonight in the USL Championship. Scored in the 10th minute and then scores the winning goal in extra time. 105+1 is the minute on that. And in the end, it's enough to send the Switchbacks through to a Western Conference final. Let's look back at the critical moment of the match. It's brought to you by Common Spirit Health. It's Zandy's big moment in extra time.
Whipped in cross from Herman, and Zandy here just in the right place at the right time. Outside with his right foot, flicks it into the back of the net, past Shuttler. giving Colorado Springs the 2-1 lead.
And ended up giving them the 2-1 win as well. No reply from Orange County in the end. And Zach Zandy is all smiles with his Switchbacks teammates. He comes through in extra time and sends Colorado Springs through to the Western Conference Final as they beat Orange County by 2-1. We'll come back after this to wrap it all up.
Injured in a crash? Get McDivitt and you get a firm dedicated to every single detail of your case.
We have the knowledge and resources to investigate the crash and your insurance company's small print.
Details matter. That's why we dive deep into every aspect of your case. This gives us the firepower we need to make the insurance company pay you the money you deserve.
We never ask you to pay a penny until we get you max money for your injuries.
Online at McDivittLaw.com.
McDivitt.
Natural gas ensures that when you need to heat things up, you can, but it can also be hazardous. That's why, in the event of a natural gas leak, you need to know the 3 S's. The first one, sound. Listen for the sound of hissing or whistling. Number 2, sight. Look for dead or discolored vegetation in an otherwise green area. And number 3, smell. It's hard to miss. Be on the lookout for a pungent odor like rotten eggs. If you notice any of these signs, leave the area immediately and call 911. For more information, go to csu.org.
The moment you call McDivitt, an action plan is put into place right away to get you the help you need.
Each case and each client is different, with different needs and solutions. Your attorney and team immediately investigates every aspect of your crash and injuries.
We track down all the paperwork and deal directly with the insurance company for you.
We keep you in the loop every step of the way, fighting to get you max money for your injuries.
And you never pay us a dime until we get money for you.
McDivitt.
Sean St. Jacques, Chris Nurse here with you. Final score after extra time. Colorado Springs prevails over Orange County in an instant classic in the USL Championship playoffs. Let's dive in to the full-time highlights brought to you by McDivitt Law Firm, and we begin with a howler and a goal from Ethan Zubak.
Zubak got his Christmas present a little bit early. Does well to chase him behind here, but it's a bad mistake. Gives them the 1-0 lead in the opening 3 minutes of the game.
You thought that was going to be the big start for Orange County, but it was evaporated by a wonderful Zandy finish.
Williams and Zandy given way too much time in and around the edge of the box here. And Zandy says, thank you very much, buries it into the bottom right-hand corner of the goal. First time, 1-1, ties things up. 5th
assist for Williams, 5th goal for Zandy this season, and then Zach Zandy would have the winner in the first period of extra time's stoppage time.
Comes from a poorly given away free kick, but Zandy in the right place at the right time says, thank you very much. Outside of the right foot, flicking to the back of the net. Past Shuttler gets his winning goal for Colorado Springs tonight.
He's been through so much, and he's so loved around these parts. He ends up being a fitting hero tonight. As we look at the full-time match stats brought to you by Groom Transportation. Possession certainly shrunk a bit, but in the end, Orange County were a bit dull in the attack in extra time.
Yeah, the second half balanced itself out a little bit. The quality probably dropped off as the players got a little bit more fatigued, but overall, I think Colorado Springs did well. They were the better team on the night. I think Orange County will continue to get better under Danny Stone. I think they're going to be a team that you're going to have to watch out for next season. For the remainder of this season, Colorado Springs into the final.
The Eastern Conference Final is going to be Charleston against Rhode Island. The Western Conference Final is going to be Colorado Springs against Las Vegas after another heart-stopper of a playoff game at Widener Field tonight. So many twists and turns, but we now know that Colorado Springs will host Las Vegas in the Western Conference Final on November 16th here at Widener Field. Zach Zandy's brace is enough to send the Switchbacks back to the Western Conference Final. They beat Orange County by 2-1 after a thriller in the USL Championship playoffs tonight.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League Championship cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the expressed written consent of the United Soccer League Championship.